Hello and welcome back to a brand new episode of the Pick a Side podcast. My name is Moran and I'm here with River Brown and Velez, and this is now episode 228. In this episode, we are going to give our best backcourts, talk about the Jazz and Blazers hot start, if the Mavs are too reliant on Luka, read some tweets, and more. This is now episode 228. And if you guys were on our Twitter yesterday, if you guys were tuning in and active and looking at what we were tweeting, we put a 3-leg parlay up of matchups, and it hit Keldon Johnson over Devin Vassell, Steph Curry over Donovan Mitchell, and SGA over Fred VanVleet. $10 to win 60. Already winning on Boom Fantasy, man. That's a weekly occurrence now.
You don't miss.
At this time. It's a weekly occurrence.
Let me ask you guys, do you guys end up going on Spaces? I know y'all were chatting.
No. We didn't go on Spaces. No.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah. He had to go to Philly. You guys are not doing it, I'm not going to do it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, I just chill.
What were you in Philly for, man?
My cousin goes to school out there.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just worked 3 12-hour shifts in a row.
Damn.
Welcome to manhood.
12 hours?
I used to do that. I used to do that.
Yeah, I used to do 16 hours, yeah.
We used to do that routine.
What the hell were y'all on?
Security.
16 hours?
Yeah,
Lock
CNBC.
Yeah,
16,
man.
go to sleep for 8, come back 16 more.
I'll be honest. Shit was ass.
That's
day one, I was really thinking, like, I was very, very confused as to why I decided to go to nursing school.
So this was for nursing.
Yeah, it was. It was crazy.
Congrats to being the man.
My dad came home. I was eating my food. No. I was eating my food. Like, I just got punched in the face. I was so sad. I was so upset.
What do you do?
So this is a preceptorship. So essentially, I work with a nurse, and whatever she does, I do. So I've been given injections. Some of these people really are in some really bad shape. So it's a lot of cleaning them. It's a lot of taking care of them. Yeah, man. Sometimes it gets pretty dicey.
Boy, be cleaning shit.
Yeah, but, we need more nurses and podcasters in the world, right?
That is so true. That is so true. Oh, man.
Well, at the table, we could say 1 out of 3 is a nurse.
No,
good.
We got to keep grinding. We got to keep grinding. We got to make sure this podcast should be hidden, because I swear to God, being in the hospital is going to be a tall task for me. It is.
And part of the podcast, keeping us afloat, is supporting Boom Fantasy.
Amen.
Click that link in the description, deposit $10+, and stay tuned to what type of bets we're placing, because we're going to miss some, of course. We don't win every single one, but for the most part, we'll win.
I'll tell you what, it's been cool to see people taking a liking more and more to Boom Fantasy recently.
Yeah, I seen it on Twitter. People are posting it. They're winning on it. That's cool. Somebody talked about it today, how first time on Boom Fantasy, you already won something. I wish that was my first experience. I placed like 10 bets, and I lost 10 in a row.
The bet, the 3-leg bet that you guys put up with, what was it, Keldon, Steph, and SGA.
Yeah,
that was a lock.
Yeah,
that was a lock.
There are some, you can find locks on there
for sure.
It's difficult.
And real quick to talk about the Thursday night game. We thought we had locks, and then the Falcons just said, we're going to forget how to play football. Said, forget about Cordero, who had 2 touchdowns. Forget about Kyle Pitts, who's one of the best tight ends in the league last year. P.J. Walker hit. He only threw for like $107 yards, but other than that.
Unfortunately, the Deontay Foreman line wasn't out at the time.
Facts.
But that was something I would have easily taken over.
That was a lock. Falcons rush is not that good.
If my 3-leg parlay was P.J. Walker under Deontay Foreman over and Terrace Marshall over, I would have hit.
Terrence Marshall did hit, but the one that we were adamant on was Cordero. That was really the one that we thought was.
And he flopped crazy.
He had 5 rushes.
I don't know what it is. They were giving the ball to Tyler Algier.
He's not a bad ball player, though. Just think that you realize Cordero is the best out of the bunch for sure. But, hey, what can you do?
Yeah.
Did y'all watch the Warriors game last night?
Bro.
Yeah, I watched the highlights, not the actual game, though.
That man is crazy.
There has to be a legit discussion about Steph being one of the best scorers of all time.
Is he better than LeBron?
As a scorer, he's easily better than LeBron.
Easily?
Yeah.
Let's hear it, Steph Curry fan.
As a scorer, he is.
That is just funny the way you say shit.
He's nowhere near the level of LeBron.
It sounds crazy to say, but like when you break down skill for skill, he's more skilled. He's more skilled on the offensive end.
Yeah,
than LeBron.
he is.
LeBron's a more dominant scorer.
There it is.
But,
finishing near the basket.
It just sounds crazy to say, you know.
LeBron's mid-range is still
Shaq
very
is
good.
a more. I don't know. Steph's scoring is more deflating than LeBron's.
I mean, when LeBron
You
getting
could
that
say
mode,
that he's
though.
the most deflating offensive scorer in the game. That's a different
No,
statement.
when LeBron
Steph,
getting
yeah, I know
that
he is.
mode,
That's
though,
a different
it's like,
statement. Oh, no, LeBron.
No, I think Steph is a.
When he gets it, when LeBron's hitting the jump shot, he's the best player in all of sports, like by far.
right.
That's a
He's
fact.
sitting at 20% this
No,
year. So
all right, he's also 38 years old.
he's been kind of an average three-point shooter. Is not nothing.
I think LeBron at 38 is still better than any player on the Knicks this year.
damn.
So keep it quiet there over there. All right.
He
All
might.
right, Quasimodo.
He's hurt right
Come
now,
on.
though. You can't rely on him. I can rely on Jalen Brunson. RJ Barrett just had a 30-piece.
Listen, shout out to the young guys in the Knicks core. I'm just saying, at 38 years old, this guy that you're clowning still would be your best player. So watch it.
And they're last
so
place
watch
in the
it.
West.
So watch exactly.
They're
Speaks
last
volumes
place.
to
Are
the
they tied
Knicks.
for last?
Huh?
Tied for last?
I don't know. I think they are last right now.
I think we're the
Maybe
second
Houston.
worst team in the league, though.
Who's first? Houston?
Might be
let's see.
Orlando.
No, we're very, very bad.
This would be a great comeback
The
if you do it.
Rockets.
The Rockets are
I was
indeed.
very generous, even making them an 11 seed this year. My predictions.
I thought we were all generous making them a playing team, like 10 seed and just.
What can you
Oh,
do?
Right on the-
you believe they were better than the Kings? We know they're not better.
Well, the Kings are not in the. What are they in the play right now? I don't think they're in the play right now. I think they're 11th.
I think they're 10 seed right now. They might
Like
be.
you
10
said,
seeds.
what's the date?
November 12th.
Yeah. So we'll
I
see.
believe right
The
now.
Kings are
The
actually
Lakers,
good though.
yeah, I
The
was gonna
Kings
say,
are the
Lakers-
10th seed right now.
The Lakers are
Kings are
good.
10th.
The Kings are actually good. I like the Kings a lot.
When am I gonna get out of this misery, man?
What, the Lakers thing?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And also real quick, I saw John talking shit about the AD trade with the Lakers and the Pelicans.
Yeah, he lost me
Like,
with that
bro,
one.
what do you the Lakers gave up way too much for the Pelicans. We're talking about Anthony Davis when he was at his peak. No, everyone was doing that deal. There was no one that thought the Lakers lost that deal in the
I
moment.
mean, in hindsight looks great.
is so 2020. No shit.
But he said David Griffith won.
Yeah, like, bro,
I don't know if he necessarily won.
they haven't even made the
I think they-
playoff.
I think
That's
they-
a cap.
no, I
I
think
apologize.
he got,
to them.
you know,
They
he
made
got
the playoffs
Brandon
last year. They were
Ingram
very
and
good.
shit like that. But the Lakers wanted to get rings.
They haven't won a playoff series since that trade's happened. The Lakers won an entire championship. What exactly did he win?
Two of the players on the Pelicans that
They're
are not
stars,
there
and they're
anymore,
also-
though.
what? Say it one more time. That's
Lonzo and Josh Hart.
There you go. But at the same time,
They
Brandon
haven't done
Ingram,
anything since.
the only one they needed
trade,
to
yeah.
keep. He's him.
Eventually, they'll win the trade though, easily.
I mean, if
They
this
have your pick right
that's what I'm saying, bro. If this pick ends up being 1 or 2, we're fried.
But your goal was to get a chip, so
and we did it in year 1.
No parade.
That shit is terrible.
That was one of the weakest championships ever. Just from, I guess, a fan excitement standpoint, nobody really cared about that.
I'm not. That's most least memorable. Definitely, nobody really brings
What
that
do
shit
you
up.
mean least memorable?
I don't think anybody talks about that.
Bubble's the most
right?
unique experience there was in sports.
Probably is unique, but when you talk
It's
about
just
not
crazy how
memorable?
you go.
when you talk about
from-
like when we like conversations get brought up, when we talk about sports. The bubble does not get brought up. a lot.
think about it.
To say not memorable is wrong.
2019, the
Least.
Raptors win.
That's wrong.
2019, the Raptors win.
That was a great one.
It was a
That's more memorable. That gets brought up
phenomenal,
more.
memorable finals win. The Lakers win. Nobody really cares. Then the next year, Milwaukee wins. First time winning in 50-plus
That
years.
gets.
I don't
talk
know.
about
It's-
that.
People
I
cared
feel
about the Lakers winning. You guys are just hating.
No, it's
'cause
the
I'm here.
least memorable. Because of the no parade thing. You know, you have the parade, the fans are involved.
Come on, man.
That matters.
Does it really?
It really does
No, it
matter.
only cares for the fan base.
Nah, it
and
cares
the
for
players,
sports
obviously.
is a fan thing. The entertainment purpose.
People that aren't fans of the Lakers don't care about a parade. Like the Astros won the World Series. I didn't give a flying fuck about the parade.
That's true. You're also a generation
I'm a
hater.
Yes, that's fair. But I'm done hating on the Astros. I told you that.
When did you tell me
I
that?
put it on Twitter.
I didn't see it on
I
Twitter.
said we can't hate on them no more.
Oh yeah, because we're just better than you guys.
Yeah.
we've
Yeah,
we've
for
beaten
sure.
you at cheating and
Yep.
not cheating. You just
Absolutely. We're
doesn't
mid.
matter. Yeah,
We're mid. No way around it.
You know, Lakers.
And you're about to lose Aaron Judge.
Don't say that shit, man.
Isn't he supposed to get like 380?
A minimum, probably.
God fucking damn!
I hope he gets 4.
How many years?
It's gonna be like 8.
Ooh, 8 years on one team. The contract is crazy.
I mean, bro, that's baseball. A-Rod was 10 years, 300. Giancarlo signed a 13-year, 326. Bryce Harper signed a 10, 330. Trout signed a 14, 426, something around those lines.
14 years.
Yes.
Bro, stuck with the Angels for life.
Yeah, bro. I
Hate
think it's around that amount of years, but I know it's 426.
Hate it had to be him.
Getting on to the first topic
Facts.
of the show. As you guys can see right now, Dehls is not here. He's attending a wedding, but he'll be back for football. And Monday we have a guest as well for football as well. And next week we have a guest for basketball as well. So next week we'll have guests for both shows. And I'll let you guys know who they are.
Thank you for that.
He did tell us who they are.
So the football one?
The football one, yeah, not the basketball one. Yeah, because I just reached out today.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Thanks for fucking telling us.
What are his initials?
He has a pretty cool YouTube.
Why don't you just text it to us in the chat real quick?
Yeah, right now. Do it right now. Live on camera.
That's just insane how we don't
Hurry up. Make it happen.
I don't think it's that important. I'll just tell you after the show.
All right, bet.
So first topic of the show. Moran and Desmond Bane, they have been playing at a spectacular level. You can argue they're one of the best duos in the NBA right now. Memphis is 9-4. Desmond Bane has taken a huge leap this season, something that Riv did not predict whatsoever. Now,
are we mentioning? Are we going to blow a spot up immediately at starting the show?
About Moses Moody?
You should go first since you're so quick to do it.
No. I'm just curious. I'm just curious because you love to bring up shit I say.
The NBA season is
love
fresh.
to do it.
It doesn't bother me that you bring it up. I'm telling you, you can do it. It doesn't bother me. I tweeted it.
So first
that might be the worst tweet of all time.
So 2 questions for the Memphis Grizzlies that I want you guys to answer. One, are Moran and Desmond Bane, are they the best duo in the NBA, backcourt duo in the NBA? And number 2, what are your thoughts on Memphis so far this season and them being atop of the Western Conference once again?
The backcourt duo question, I mean, we're saying Tatum's obviously a forward. Trey and DeJounte, I would personally lean John Bane.
Why?
Because Ja is better than Trey.
And what?
And Bane and DeJounte right is a tough conversation, no doubt about it. DeJounte is extremely complete. That is a very close competition, but I think because Ja
he's not extremely complete. He can't shoot consistently.
Fair enough, but he's been knocking it down to start the season.
3-point shot?
Yep. He's been knocking it down to start the season.
He's been knocking shit down when it matters.
Yeah, for sure. And his mid-range, I appreciate that he actually takes a mid-range shot.
Mid-range is firm.
For sure. But because Ja is better than Trey, I lean that duo. If we're going strictly duos, though, I can't say they're the best duo in the league. There's definitely only a couple that I would take over them. But if we're going off backcourt, yeah, I'd have them number 1.
Well, you're definitely not taking LeBron and AD over them, right?
No.
So it's about just duos. Who you taking over? Wait.
Give me 1 second. You've really started this show with some animosity, and I'm going to be fucking frank with you, Joel. I'm going to be frank with you. I'm not appreciating it a touch. So watch it. Because I
just said yes.
Yes, the answer is yes, but we don't need the unnecessary tidbits.
No, it's a question.
No shit, the Lakers are down bad. AD and LeBron are down bad. I'm down bad.
Bro.
No, that's, I understand.
So who's the best duo in the league to you right now?
The best duo in the league is Giannis and Drew right now.
Over JB and JT?
They're number 2, and it's extremely close.
That's very interesting that you would put them up there. Okay. I thought you would have JT and Jaylen Brown first.
I really want to put them number 1, but Giannis and Middleton complement each other so well.
Giannis and Drew.
I apologize. That's what I meant. Giannis and Drew really do complement each other very well. And they've played some great basketball to start the season. And this is all without Middleton.
Very interesting.
What do you think? Am I wrong in that assessment of best backcourt? You probably can make that argument.
I think best backcourt right now, it can be on one day, it could be Trey and DeJounte. It can be on another day, Donovan and Garland. It can be on another day, John Bane.
If this was the Garland of last year that we saw at the stretch, yes.
That's the thing. Like Garland, his eye is fucked up, but still he has to get it going. Like he has to figure it out. But like you see, like even when they played Boston, the potential of those two playing,
no doubt,
at a great. It's like, oh shit. And then Trey and DeJounte, like you see the impact
DeJounte
has. Yeah, but Ja and Bane, in terms of just like the type of offense they bring, and the fact that Ja is like top 10 in 3-point percentage right now. So the fact that Ja can shoot at the moment, I don't know if that's going to continue shooting at a ridiculous rate right now. And Bane is also, we can all agree, he's going to shoot like this for the rest of the season because he's a shooter. The fact that they bring you that and Ja is just that dominant at 6'3", I think right now you got to call them the best backcourt because of what they can provide on the offensive end. You know, Trae Young's efficiency hasn't been good. You know, offensively, he still has his moments where he makes bad decisions. And you can key in and stop him. DeJounte has saved Trey a lot this year.
No doubt.
But with Ja and Bane, it's like they complement each other so well.
They don't have off nights. It seems as if they just don't
I would probably say backcourt Ja and Bane right now. But duo, Oh, yeah. I like JT and JB in front of them. I like Giannis and whoever, Middleton or Drew in front of them. If MPJ was playing a little bit better, I would say I like the Joker and MPJ, but
MPJ's been playing pretty well.
Yeah, but he's not. I think Bane has been better. So
for sure.
And I think Josh has been just as good. So I think those would probably be the only two in front for me. But to talk about Memphis for just a little bit, they just find ways to just plug in guys and have them play the system. They play so hard, they play gritty.
So it's a system thing.
Memphis is.
I'm asking, no, but it's a system thing that Bane is playing as well as he is.
No, what the fuck?
I'm just asking.
No,
I'm asking.
No, it's a system thing with the way they just plug in guys and they fit so well in the system.
Okay.
Desmond Bane's been playing fucking amazing. I did not. I can be the first. I did not see him playing at this rate. I thought he'd be like a 19 to 21. I still do think. You know what I'm saying? I tweeted that, but Bane has been amazing. Bane has been great. This is it's only been 13 games. So
it's November 12th.
It's November 12th. You can run your victory lap, but
no, it's not a victory lap. It's just hilarious. Just the disrespect you put on Bane's name. That's all that it is.
I'm just interested to see what they're gonna look like with Jaren Jackson back and how he's gonna adjust their game. I do think though, Dylan Brooks and Steven Adams to a lesser degree, those are gonna be the positions that hurt him. I feel like Dylan Brooks, his shot IQ, his shot diet stinks.
I'm with you there.
Like he's not that great of a defender for he could do shit like that on offense. And Steven Adams, he sometimes he's unplayable in certain series. So I would love for them to upgrade those positions. But for right now, when Jaren Jackson Jr. comes back, I think this team has potential to really make a real push in the playoffs.
Steven Adams' ability to pass is what keeps him on the court, though.
Yeah.
But I'm with you. I know what you mean.
Hey.
Ja and Bane are easily the best backcourt duo in the NBA right now. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's close. Ja Morant is averaging 29, 6 and 7. Desmond Bane 24, 5 and 5, and
shooting 45% from three.
I remember 2 summer leagues ago.
Damn.
Not this one, but the one last year, summer league, when I was having this conversation with Riv, and I was saying, Desmond Bane in summer league, he looks like a legit playmaker. He's handling the ball. He could take people off the dribble. He can make really difficult passes. And we didn't see that much last year, but this year we're seeing it more where he's having more on-ball responsibility, and he's been able to take that leap in his game as a playmaker. These two guys are both top 25 in PER. Ja Morant's 11th, Desmond Bane is 22nd. And before I talk about my top 5 backcourt duos, because I'm not going to talk about duos.
I thought it was duos.
No, it's just backcourt duos.
It is backcourt. I apologize. Before
I get into my top 5, I just want to say this about Memphis. I feel like they were slept on coming into the season, and I overlooked them. Obviously, hindsight is 2020, but when looking back at Memphis, I do question why I overlooked them so much, because they have everything you need to trust into a team. The consistency, you have an elite coach, you have an elite superstar player in Ja Morant, an elite supporting cast, fantastic culture, great chemistry, and most importantly, they're all young. This is a team that every player is still getting better. Ja Morant, although he was an All-NBA player last year, he's still getting better. He's taking a shooting leap this year. Desmond Bane has gotten better. And the complementary parts are amazing. They've gotten some good minutes from Jake LaRavia this season, who's a rookie out of Wake Forest. They just have the perfect system and great continuity to where they're one of those teams that everybody, including me, should have looked at as a team that was either going to stay the same or get better. But because I think they made no splash moves, this team got easily overlooked. They didn't make a big-time trade or signed a big-time player. In fact, they lost Kyle Anderson, who I thought was a pretty important piece of them last year. They lost more than they gained this past offseason, but just the combination of them being young and those players just getting better and trusting into their development has led them to be one of the top teams in the West right now. They're 22nd in defense rating, but that's going to jump up when Jaren Jackson comes back. When Jaren Jackson Jr. comes back, this team is going to be a top 15 defense again, and they're going to be a legit contender in the West. I think that when you look at teams, everything is pretty much linear in terms of trajectory on a year-to-year basis. Memphis, a couple years ago, were a play-in team. They barely missed a play-in. I mean, they make the playoffs. They lose in the first round in Utah. Then they make the playoffs as a second seed. They lose to Golden State. Now it feels like the West feels more wide open than ever. And if Memphis catches a spark in the playoffs, they have favorable matchups, this team could go to the finals. I am starting to believe in a lot of the Memphis hype because of just how great the team is from a culture standpoint and from the players on this team. Top 5 backcourt duos. Number 5 is still Chris Paul and Devin Booker. Devin Booker is playing phenomenally right now. Chris Paul, his efficiency isn't there, but he does everything else well still. And I don't know why you guys are laughing. I don't know why you're laughing. Is there...
Yo, we were just talking about Chris Paul. That's why. That's why I laughed. And then you said it's still Chris Paul. That's the only reason why I laughed.
He does everything but score efficiently. Yes.
Number 5 is Chris Paul and Devin Booker. And Phoenix is one of those teams that they're top of the West again.
Yep.
Despite all the questions around them.
No, they're top 5 in offense and defense right now. They're a really good team.
Really good.
Number 4 is Steph Curry and Klay Thompson.
He had him. Look, he was going to get mad at me for having them.
I thought we were doing only duos. I have them in my backcourts for sure. Okay. But I thought we were doing strictly duos.
And obviously, this is most of off the strength of Steph.
Yeah.
Number 3 is Darius Garland and Donovan Mitchell.
It's a firm list.
I do believe that if you take Darius Garland last year versus Mitchell this year and you combine those two players and get the same production, then they can be more up on this list. But I think it's kind of obvious that Donovan Mitchell being more on ball is kind of taken away from Darius Garland a little bit. But you can live with it because Donovan Mitchell is a fantastic elite level player. He's an offensive machine by himself. Darius Garland right now averaging 16 and 8. He's a great floor general, but is he the type of player that's going to take a back seat to Donovan Mitchell and now teeter around the 16 to 20 a game and just let Mitchell take care of most of the scoring duty? That is a legitimate concern, I guess, just for like where they rank in backcourts. Number 2 is Trae and DeJounte. They have been one of the best backcourt duos, the second best backcourt duo in my opinion. There are nights where they are the best. Trae Young is not even efficient right now. And once he gets efficient, this team is going to look way better than they look right now, I believe.
They look good already.
Yeah, they look fantastic right now. And number 1
you didn't give any DeJounte love just now. You want to just sprinkle a little love?
Just Trae was nuts.
No, DeJounte, I feel like I've sing his praises all offseason long.
Wow.
We don't have to kind of dig too deep into DeJounte. We know where I stand on DeJounte. He's a phenomenal player.
About worst tweets that I've had.
6'4",
sure.
His wingspan is amazing.
At least yours was a tweet. Came on the show. Team Murray at the Spurs. Be out the league. At least yours is on Twitter. All right.
Whew, that was a tough one. That was tough.
I'm also here laughing because my number 5 could be more laugh worthy than CP3 and Booker. Number 5, I have Dame and Anthony Simons. Anthony Simons really has come in. He has been a perfect complementary piece to Damian Lillard. CP3 and Booker, where yes, they've been a model of consistency. I just look at CP3 and I see how much his game has deteriorated on the offensive side of things when it comes to scoring, more importantly, that I see Anthony, I see Damian, the way that they are performing on the offensive side of the ball, and I just like that a little bit more. Number 4, Stephen Klay, for obvious reasons, mostly because of Steph Curry and the way that he has been cooking this season, absolutely. Steph Curry, I'm part of the fan club. I'm glad that Riv allowed me to join. Klay Thompson definitely needs to get it going. I think that with time, we'll start to see Klay cook up a little bit, but I am more on the worried side than I am on the trustworthy side of Klay Thompson. Number 3, I feel like 3-2-1, you hit it right on the head. Donovan Mitchell and Darius Garland. Darius Garland struggled up until this point, but it is because of the eye injury. You look at his eye, it looks like Gary Trent Jr. needs to do something when it comes to hand hygiene because his eye is messed up. But Donovan has been spectacular. 31 points. You have the Cavaliers that are one of the top teams in the Eastern Conference. He's been amazing. Number 2, Trae and DeJounte. DeJounte has come in and has been stellar. Very complete. You're right. The three-point shot could be a little bit better. It's around 32, 33%. But everything else he's doing at a very efficient clip, I should say. He's getting to the basket with ease. He's facilitating. He's allowing the Hawks to have Trae play off ball, which is what we had anticipated a little bit because of how good of a playmaker DeJounte Murray is and how natural offense comes to Trae Young as well. And then Trae Young, who you mentioned it, has been efficient, but even still, he's been cooking in his own right. And Atlanta as a whole has been playing very good basketball. And number 1, it's got to be Ja and Bane. Ja and Bane have been the model of consistency. You look at the rest of the duos, and Some of them will have off nights while one of the others cooks, but Ja and Desmond cook every single night. And Bane has to be the leader for most improved player right now, where he didn't get it last year because Ja. No, but that's. I think he should get it at least.
Johnson?
Yes, he's averaging 24, almost 25 points, 45% from the three. He has been unbelievable.
Isn't Keldon shot up like 10 points, though?
He has, but I think Bane was at...
not Keldon.
Bane was at 18, 19
That's
last
Devin
year.
Vassell.
Facts.
Okay.
Bane was at 18,
Devin
19
Vassell,
last year.
You gotta throw his name in there, too.
Yeah, Devin Vassell should get MIP.
Fair enough, but at the same time, you're going to have the Grizzlies, who are going to be probably at the top of the Western Conference. And then he's gone up from 18, 19 to 24, 25. If he can stay consistent, it'll probably be his award to lose.
Vassell went up 12 to 21.
That's impressive.
If he stays there, he'll probably get it. My first three is Ja Bane, Trey DeJounte, Garland Mitchell. I think we all had the same. My last two is Dame Simons and Steph
I
Clay.
see you.
Why don't you have Dame and Simons? That's why I laughed. Now I remember why I fucking laughed.
No, I didn't know because I know you had a little bit of a thing against Simons, so I wasn't sure.
I don't. I loved Anthony Simons.
Loved? ED?
I've been on the Anthony Simons.
Facts, because you told me where he went to high school. I forget that's why you.
He didn't tell you that.
No, facts. You're right. He
didn't tell you that.
No, he asked me.
Oh, he asked you. You couldn't think of it.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna pretend.
It's so weird. This revisionist history. I literally came on the show and said Dame has said Simons is the next superstar guard in line in Portland. I love Anthony Simons.
Love?
Yeah, I love his game. I've been a fan of Simons for a while now.
Then why don't you sing his praises?
You don't sing his praises. You love
I feel
him
like I'm the one who comes in and says Anthony Simons is a baller.
No, I talked about Anthony Simons more last year.
Same way about Desmond Bane. I feel like I haven't heard you.
Oh no, that's fresh. That's very
Desmond Bane. I love Desmond Bane, but he's not somebody that
You've been throwing around the word love a lot recently.
Because I love their games. But Desmond Bane is not somebody that I thought was going to be at this level. Anthony Simons, back when he was in his second year in the NBA, I thought he was going to be good.
Yeah, nah.
So this is somebody that has been brewing, kind of like Trey Mann, right?
Yeah.
Trey Mann, I've been very high on Trey Mann since he's been a rookie, but I'm not going to come here every week and talk about him. That's not how I roll.
So why CP and Book over Dame? And Dame has been playing, I feel like, better than both of them.
Yeah,
and
Dame's
I think
crazy.
so. I don't think better than D Book.
I mean, even if you don't, they're like right next to each other. They're neck. I mean,
Simons is a better scorer than CP3, and he's more explosive right now. There's no doubt. But CP3 is still at the top of the league in assists per game. His efficiency hasn't caught up yet, but I think it will eventually. I don't think Chris Paul's staying at 9 points per game for the entire season, shooting 27% from three. I think it's going to even out.
What is it going to go up to, like 13?
What do you mean 13?
Points per game.
Yeah, not talking about his percentages from three.
No, but I'm saying like it's going to go like 13 points a game, 14?
15 and 9, 15 and 10, I'd take personally over 21 and 4, just for what the Suns have to do. Like for that Suns team.
22 and 5, just to give you that. Anthony Simons, sneaky playmaker.
Sneaky. He's a flamethrower.
Nah, OD,
no, yeah, he's
bro.
a
just
sharpshooter.
Just let it go.
I mean, I'm not mad for you guys having them at 5. I don't have any.
I just think
you have him at 4, or do you have him at 5?
I have Steph and Clay at 5.
Well, Steph and Clay's a better backcourt than Dame and Anthony.
It's not a lot.
It's not. I don't disagree. It's the Clay guy.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Steph, you're taking him over both.
Well,
and at least he's staying consistent.
Steph, I'm taking. If I was gonna do that, I would have put Steph and Clay at 3. I would take them over Mitchell and Garland, but I won't do that.
It's much harder to do that though than over.
It is. I'm gonna be honest with you.
I think Mitchell's better.
I mean,
than
but
Dame.
Damian Lillard has shown throughout his career that at his best,
Mitchell is better than Dame.
I don't know if I can.
What do you mean he's been better than him this year?
They've been on the same level.
He's averaging 30.
Is it the points per game that matters the most?
Mitchell's been all around. Mitchell's been 35 and 5 this year on excellent efficiency.
Dame has been great, man.
Yeah, he's been great.
Unbelievable.
They've both been amazing.
They both really have.
They've both been really, really.
And although
Simon's
numbers looks better than Garland's points wise, but I do think Garland's
and I'll
better.
also I'll criticize where it needs to be. Anthony's efficiency could be a little bit better for sure, but at the same time, he's still showing confidence in his abilities, and he's still getting his buckets, still playmaking at a very solid level for where it needs to be. Understanding that Dame's still the guy, but when he needs to get his, he'll take over. Fourth quarter, he's not afraid.
Are we thinking of? Nah, I'm not even gonna say it. It's a troll question.
All right, you have to say it now.
Smart JB over Chris Paul, Devin Booker. Like,
I would probably. I'd have to take
SGA Giddy.
Nah, stop it. SGA's been crazy, but
I'm trolling.
You got to take. Yeah, I guess you have to take CP3. Yeah. You have to, out of respect. He's a legend.
I just feel like you guys think CP3 is not going to get better from this.
He's been bad, man.
He literally.
He's been.
It's not
bad.
that he can't get better. Well, he can't because he's old. But
he can. His efficiency's horrible right now.
But that's not. I don't think that's. That
is getting better. That's playing better.
Playing better. I thought you meant like getting better. Like he can get better at his game. I think this is. I don't know. I don't know.
CP3 is still a big part of why they're a top 4 offensive and defensive rating team.
Yeah. No. I think it's been more Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton, but Chris Paul is definitely a part of that.
Not even Mikal Bridges.
Oh yeah, of course, Mikal Bridges. I can't forget about him.
Cam
Johnson.
This was January 10th, 2022. I tweeted, Anthony Simons is ready. Trade Dame.
Damn, bro.
But that was nuts.
I don't think
you always got to work in extremes, though.
That was kind of nuts.
Why you got to work in extremes like that?
We're not gonna act like we were talking.
Wait, so why can you look up that tweet, but you couldn't text us the
facts, the guess,
the guess?
Because this isn't part of the show.
So crazy to me.
That's not extreme because last year.
Shoot me Dame's numbers. What's Dame's numbers?
I actually was just looking.
We were thinking that last year Portland might have just went into a full rebuild.
So Dame is 29 points per game essentially, 48% from the field, 41 from 3, 5 rebounds, 5 assists. He's been amazing. Donovan might be a touch better right now. Donovan's averaging 31 on 6 assists, almost 2 steals a game, 43% from 3.
You called him a
Sounds
ball
like the
hawk.
same thing.
51. I mean, let's see his attempts. He's 22 attempts a game.
Nah, Donovan.
But the 6 assists is firm. Yep.
Averaging 31 on 22 attempts.
I call him a ball hog in Utah. I call him a ball in Utah.
Nah, Donovan ain't
strong.
He still averaged 5 assists in Utah.
Yeah, he did.
He's always been
also. I mean, let me not say overall. I don't know.
Well, Donovan's playing defense.
Mitchell's always been a really good passer,
and he's always been a good defender. I told you that.
You did tell you that.
And he's locking in on defense.
Look at him. I told you that. Pay attention.
You did say that. I'm excited to see Garland healthy and him and
well, once that eye fixes and he can see like
together though.
Straight.
Bro, it's still messed up, like really bad.
Yeah, no. He'll get better.
I'm sure if he wanted to really rest, it'd probably be a little bit longer for him to get back on the court, but he feels like he can see, so he's going to
He had a pretty shitty road trip just now.
That's very true. That's very true.
I think it is. I think it is clear to wrap this up, though. I think it is clear that John Bane have been playing at the best backcourt level of any backcourt right now.
Who will it last?
Yes.
Like who do you think will finish out end of the season best backcourt?
John Bane. With Donovan and Garland, if Garland,
I think Garland and Mitchell will finish.
Yeah, first.
Yeah, I think like as the best.
I actually think that.
Please don't say Stephen Clay.
Trey is gonna be. His efficiency is gonna pick up, and he'll have better numbers than Ja.
Stinks.
And when JJJ comes back, Desmond Bane will go to like 22, 21.
Is Trey better than Ja?
I think they're pretty even, but I mean, either or.
I think right now people are going to say it sounds stupid because the way Ja's playing, but I think you can make the argument that Trey's a better basketball player.
It's not a stupid statement. Obviously, both Trey and Ja are amazing.
I mean, before the season came in, I had Trey over Ja.
Yep. So understandable.
They do different things.
They do different things.
I mean, Trey's a better playmaker than him.
I think
Ja's a better finisher than Trey.
For sure.
But Trey, in theory, is a better shooter than him.
Do you say in theory because he should be? Because he's a better three-point shooter. It's just his efficiency is bad. Exactly.
Yeah, his efficiency is not as good as Ja's. That's why. But in theory, like he should be a better shooter than Ja.
Yeah, Ja's just more dominant inside the 3-point line.
For sure.
He's just
and Ja's energy is just unbelievable. Also,
but I think Trey clears as a playmaker.
That's a given. Trey's one of the best passers in the league.
Facts. Trey Baldy Young.
My mom swears Trae Young is the cutest player in the NBA.
Is she serious?
Yes.
Really?
It's like, Mom,
wow.
Due respect. What are we doing?
Likes what she likes. All right. Sheesh.
The Utah Jazz have been one of the hottest teams in the NBA to start the season. They're 10-3, first in the West. First team in the league to reach double-digit wins. They have beaten the Nuggets, the Wolves, the Pelicans, the Grizzlies twice, the Clippers, the Hawks.
That's a good
No
resume.
team with an over-under of less than 25 games has won 7 games through their first 13. The Jazz are the best team in the Western Conference right now. And I know that with the Jazz, there's a lot of talk about, well, is it going to last? There's questions around that, whether it will last. Is Danny Ainge happy with the success? Will he blow up this team and then go into full tanking mode for a player like Victor? And I've been saying this since the Jazz started winning in the beginning of the season. And watching them, I'm just like, they're a very fun team. They have the perfect combinations of shooters, defenders, ball handlers, shot creators. They're just a well-rounded team. They have a bunch of good role players and players that are playing above their level right now. I don't think Danny Ainge is going to tank. I don't think so. I think if the Jazz keep on winning, he is more than happy with the Jazz making the playoffs. People seem to forget that. When Danny Ainge was in Boston after he traded KG, Paul Pierce, that there was talk about the Celtics tanking, and in the 14-15 season, they make the playoffs with Isaiah Thomas, Marcus Smart, Jeff Green, Al Horford, a collection of good players, but nobody stood out as the standout player on that team. And Danny Ainge has already said that it's assumed that's how I feel. Give me a break. I've been accused of building teams to lose before. It's never been true. I don't think Danny Ainge is going to tank. I think the Jazz are going to be a legitimate playoff or play-in team this year. I think they are going to make it. I'm ready to buy stock in them. Like, I know a couple shows ago we talked about how if they're going to even make the play-in, I don't think that's a question anymore. I really do believe this is a 500 team, and with the teams and how the West looks right now, the Lakers not making a play-in.
What's going on?
The OKC Thunder are not making a play-in. The Houston Rockets are not making a play-in.
Nope.
The Spurs, will they? I like the Spurs a lot too because they play selfishly.
The Wolves?
The Wolves, it's up in the air still.
Wow.
They'll make the play-in, I think so. But their chemistry issues are for real.
Yeah.
Utah Jazz, the Utah Jazz, Will Hardy has done an exceptional job. And, of course, at the forefront is Lauri Markkanen because he's been their star this season. But Clarkson has improved as a passer. He's doubled his assist total. They're 7th in three-point shooting right now. They're 5th in the NBA in assist. And Lauri is one of 6 players this year to average 22 and 9 this season. The other five players are players you'd consider at the upper echelon of the NBA right now. I really do buy into this Jazz team. I think that even before the season, when we talked about the tanking teams of the Rockets, OKC, and the Spurs, the Jazz, for me, were quite easily the best one out of all of them. And I do think there's this newfound identity with Utah. And I don't believe there's this need to tank to just get this one player in Victor. When, for one, if you tank, it's not even a given that you're going to get that top player. There's still only a 14% chance if you have the highest odds. And number 2, they own Minnesota's pick this year that is unprotected. If Minnesota keeps going down this rabbit hole they're going on where we have team chemistry issues, you have fit issues, and they're losing, the Utah Jazz can very well get a top 15 or maybe even lottery pick from Minnesota, and they can build their roster with that pick. They have a ton of assets, and I really don't believe that the answer to all this team's problems is Victor. I never believed it.
I think what are you? So you're buying stock? You said,
yeah,
and you've given up on Minnesota.
No, I haven't given up on Minnesota, but the problems are real.
What are you? 1-1 at the moment on your take?
Don't be mean.
L at the moment on Minnesota, a W on Utah.
For real, a W on Utah because I got laughed at for putting them even as a 12th seed, and now that's very wrong.
Does he get a W for that? Putting them as a non-playoff team and there's a playoff team? Do we give him a W? For that?
I'll give him credit for riding for sure.
So I'll give you some credit.
Well, I definitely said the Lakers want to make the play-in, and they're not going to make it.
I just said I'd give you some credit.
To talk about Utah for a sec, you mentioned it. Will Hardy instilling that culture. I agree with you to a degree. I think winning and not tanking, just going out there playing hard every night, you definitely can build a culture that way. You know, kind of in the same breath that Brooklyn Nets team did with D'Lo, Karis LeVert. They built a little bit of culture. You know, they were the underdog team. They had a lot of fun. This Utah Jazz team's so efficient, and it just feels like every guy knows their capabilities. They know their roles. They don't step out of their role. They don't do too extra. They play within themselves. And that's what keeps them scoring at a high rate. That's what keeps their three-point percentage up. That's what keeps them winning. Defensively, offensively, Will Hardy gets these guys to buy in. Am I ready to buy stock yet? I think I'm going to wait a little bit until like January. I'm going to give it about a month. You know, the season's about to start kicking in for real, for real. December is that time where you can see, like there's times where teams go on this run October, November, and then they fall off a cliff, or they're shit October, November, and then they do their thing, you know?
It rarely happens, though.
You said what?
It rarely happens.
What do you mean by that? It happened like twice last year.
The Wizards did it, and the Celtics did it.
Yes, this is what I mean, though. Last year, the Wizards started off hot, and then they came down to earth.
I feel like they've done that like twice.
There's a lot of reasons for that, though. Bradley Beal got hurt. Wes Unseld Jr. is not the coach that people thought he was going to be those first couple games into the season. They have actually did studies on this, and they went back all the way to the 1999 season. Teams that have started as good as the Utah Jazz, there have only been one scenario where they don't make the play in the playoffs, and the Wizards last year were one of those teams.
Oh no, I'm not saying.
I know, but statistically, the stats back up the Jazz and how they actually are legit. Yeah, and it's not just a phase, and especially given the teams they've beaten.
I mean, buy stock is in like calling them a right away playoff team. You know, I still think there's some teams they could still they could still drop to the play-in, losing the play-in. But this is a tough team. You know, you can't knock what they're doing. You can't knock what Danny Ainge is doing. Am I ready to say they're a playoff team? Like I said, I don't know. You know, there's still teams that got to get it to going. You know, I think the Lakers. Garbage. You know, the Kings and the Warriors are still fighting for a spot. Portland's hot. Will they continue to be hot?
The Kings are great.
I just gave the Kings some props. I said the Kings and the Warriors. I don't know about great, but they're exciting to watch. The Kings and the Warriors, they're fighting for a spot. OKC, I think they'll fall off eventually, but, you know, that's a game you can't sleep on. That's a team that can beat you on any given night.
5-6, great.
Who?
The Kings.
No, I didn't call them great.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
All their losses have been like a couple possessions.
That's bad. It's not good.
No, they're closing out games now. They are.
You just said all their losses.
And the Warriors just beat them recently. You saw the game, and the refs folded a call.
The refs folded a call.
Yes. Kevin Huerter was fouled.
That's why they lost. So that one call. Did you watch the fourth quarter? Answer the question.
You know that call was big.
Answer the question. So you're just going to look it up. You're not going to say you watched the fourth quarter.
Another question that I do have is, you're saying that you can see them teetering around a 500 team. So you're just saying that you don't see them continuing this level of play? No, I don't.
Okay. I mean, teams right now are not hitting threes on them.
Very true.
They're hitting threes at a...
I could keep going. I don't know if that's the statement that I want to agree with, but go ahead.
Teams right now are not hitting threes.
Teams haven't figured them out yet.
Teams right now are very bad at shooting against them. And I don't quite attribute that all to their defense. I think some of it definitely is true. But I think teams are also just kind of in a slump. And there is an overlooking factor to this team right now where
for sure
we get into November, we get into like December, January, teams are not going to be overlooking the Jazz anymore. I do think they're a 500 team. They're a playing team for sure, in my opinion. They're one of those teams that I think are going to be 500, so 41 wins or better. I do think that Vegas got this extremely wrong, just like a lot of people. They're going to win 41 or more games this year.
All right. They've been playing.
So did you watch that fourth quarter? Because you tried to look something up instead of answering the question.
I wanted to know what the final score of the game was.
So you didn't watch the fourth quarter?
I don't care about the fourth quarter.
Of course you didn't. You're going to blame the game on the one play instead of just watching the fourth quarter.
Yes, but you know Kevin Huerter was fouled.
I understand
that was a big
play. But that's not why they lost.
To talk about the Utah Jazz.
Sorry, I apologize.
It's okay, man.
Talk about
They've been playing very good basketball on both sides. I know, that's crazy. Especially when we're talking about the Utah
they
Jazz.
play the Warriors again tomorrow.
They would at least win to OT if Kevin Huerter goes.
They play the Warriors again tomorrow in Sacramento.
Get
one win.
Sacramento can win.
They haven't won yet. You know that, right?
Yeah, but they can win.
So win.
You think they're gonna win?
Who?
You.
The Kings?
Yeah.
Hell no. I think the Warriors will win.
I think they're gonna win.
All right, well, win. Come on. We've been waiting. You guys have been trying to win. You know, win.
They have been winning 5 and 6, 10 seed right now.
That's not the win.
Aaron Fox, you slept on him.
I did.
Yeah,
that's a shame.
He's amazing.
He's amazing.
He's really good.
Will it last?
I mean, De'Aaron Fox has been good. What are we doing?
He's been good.
De'Aaron Fox is playing at an elite level this year.
Will that elite level last? You make it seem like it's been lasting.
Yeah, it's gonna last the entire season.
Yeah,
he's averaged 27 in the NBA.
He's never averaged 27 in his life.
I was gonna say I think it's 25, 26.
It was 25.
Either way, come on.
I'm sorry. He tried to lie. He just tried to lie
points,
now.
though.
Right now he's averaging 26. He averaged 25 in 2020.
Yeah, but the difference is he's been a better shooter.
Can I talk about the Utah Jazz,
and you know that.
He has, and that will last because he was in the gym all summer.
Everybody's in the gym all summer.
No, but
that's not
made
necessarily
a different
true.
level of commitment.
Read
the article on The Athletic. They wrote about him. And he had a honeymoon this offseason. He took his trainers on his honeymoon, and he was working every day in the gym.
I'm sure his wife appreciated that.
Sure, that was cool.
Like, what the hell?
He was bought in.
Listen, man.
He was bought in.
Imagine your once-in-a-lifetime thing. You're like, yeah, I'm going to bring my trainers with me.
Bro, he got to take the game to the playoffs.
I respect the grind. I'm just saying, like, come on.
Could have took a week off.
We're all human. Yeah. That being said, the Utah Jazz, second in offensive rating, second in defensive rating. That's
the thing that's getting me. I don't know if that will last.
Defense being second.
Fair enough. Offense, too.
Especially because you obviously lose Rudy Gobert, and everyone says that Rudy Gobert is the main reason why this defense is as good as it is. But the real reason, it seems as if this team now is not self-centered. And that's why I was mentioning the Donovan Mitchell being a ball hog. And I meant that very loosely, but I mean it more so in the sense of last year they were bottom 5 in passing the ball last year. This year, they're top 10. Last year, they were bottom 5 in the league in assists. This year, they're top 10. There's a lot more ball movement. There's a lot more trust in each other. And sure, there is a little bit of the other teams going against Utah Jazz and them not taking them as seriously as they should. But it's the NBA. Any given night, any team can beat anyone. And the Utah Jazz are playing with a chip on their shoulder right now, and they're playing great. You mentioned Lauri Markkanen and the things that he's done. He's been spectacular. A big part of this team also is that they're a very lengthy squad. They run out Kelly Olynyk, Lauri Markkanen. That's 2 7-footers. Jaden McDaniels, that's a 6'8" guy right there.
Vando.
Excuse me. Yep, he's been great.
I was like, what? Yeah, he caught me by surprise.
6'8", great on the defensive side of the ball.
Nah, he's 6'9".
Come on.
And then off the bench, you have Colin Sexton and you have Malik Beasley who come in, and they are now the second leading team in bench points right now. They have been a very complete unit. They are playing very high-level basketball right now. Last basketball show we had, I was out because the Wizards really have led me in the direction of I don't know if that team can continue to play at this level because they had people confused and they end up being who we thought that they would be. But this team is in a similar spot, but they've been very, very consistent night in, night out. I want to say they're definitely a play-in team. Playoffs, I do have to wait and see because you mentioned it. We haven't seen the Golden State Warriors really get going. The Clippers haven't really got going because Kawhi Leonard has not been playing. The Nuggets, Jamal Murray really hasn't hit his full stride. The Timberwolves have just been beyond the word disappointing. So there's a lot of things that we haven't been expecting. The Pelicans have been not have their entire starting 5 every single game so far. Pelicans are one of those that I feel like can get going as well. I want to say they're playing for sure, guaranteed, signed and sealed. But the playoffs, I still need to wait on that.
They'll have to win the play-in, and I don't know if they can do it.
Defensively, this is you mentioned how you don't think the defensive part of their game can continue. I feel like defense, we've said it all along, is an effort thing, and they've shown that they are a team full of effort. Maybe the offensive rating doesn't stick around. Oh, and another thing I want to say, Jordan Clarkson starting now as opposed to coming off the bench. We thought that Colin Sexton would be the starter and Jordan would resume his role as the 6th man. The coach has decided to make Jordan the starting guard.
He's a better player.
And he's having a career year in assists, having career high in three-point percentage. He's been playing fantastic ball. Okay. I feel like the offense is one of those things that I look at, and maybe that might take a dip, but on the effort side of things, that's where you see it in the defensive part of the game. I think that continued to be at a high level as well. I think Joel thinks that was I'm waiting for you to respond.
No, I'm sorry. Yeah, I just don't think being top 2 in offense, top 2 in defense with this roster is just going to last.
That's fine. That's
credit
fair.
to them. They've been playing hard, but it's just – and then when they get to the play-in, I don't know. You still, chips on the table, cards on the line, you still need a guy. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if Lauri Markkanen at the end or Jordan Clarkson at the end could be your guy when you play a team if you have to fucking see the Pelicans in a playing game, or you still got to see Minnesota, which is still a tough game, or you got to see Golden State in a playing game, or a Clippers team. Like, you still need a guy, and I don't know if
Lauri's been fantastic. He's
been really, really fucking good. But
have we spoken about the FIBA World Cup and that being a factor in Lauri Markkanen's game?
I think it's a huge factor.
But have we touched on it a little bit? Because he came in, he was dominant in the World Cup, second in points. He's come in taking that same work ethic. He said,
"Well, this is the first time in a while that he's been given the keys. He didn't get in Chicago.
Yeah, no, didn't.
Cleveland, obviously, he wasn't going to get it.
In both situations, he was the fourth option. Now, so this is the one time he's the guy.
Yep. So I guess it's just more, you know what I'm saying, more touches. More touches lead to better opportunities, and he's been doing his thing and executing offensively. He's been really good. He's always had the potential, but I think Joel said it like last week. Jim Boylen fucked him up. Jim Boylen was a terrible coach.
Yeah.
So, and Lauri was also getting hurt in the process of being in Chicago. So he could never fully get it going. Kept switching out coaches. Kept switching out roles. So he never fully got to get that ability. And then when he went to Cleveland, he was relegated to a role which he played fine in. He was a good defender, good 3-point shooter. They played the 3 big lineup, which was great for Cleveland. And now he's at Utah, and he's bringing all that shit together and putting it into one, and Will Hardy is maximizing his efforts.
And you had the Jazz winning 15 games this year.
I didn't, because that's just such a...
15 games, I feel like that's specific.
Such a specific number. Did I?
Nah, you had them winning 23, though, for sure.
I didn't have them winning neither of them shits.
You had them 15 seed in the West, though.
Oh, yeah, I did have them 15. You had them 12.
I had the Jazz 12. Let's go. I knew it.
We all had them not making the playoffs. What are we doing here?
I knew that I had the Jazz 15, not 14.
That's not different from 12, bro.
That's a major difference.
Did you have them actually at 12?
Yes.
Yeah. All right, so I had them at 12 too.
I had the Lakers at 11.
So we're lit, you and me, Jazz?
Oh, yeah, I guess.
Cool.
Yeah, you guys had them 12.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not bragging about having them 12.
They're like that first.
They're unbelievable.
Yeah. I mean, what you had, Lakers at 11?
Yeah, they were not going to make the plan for me.
Wow. Whatever. Care.
Shocker.
I don't care.
You do. It hurts you like badly. It's okay though. 2-10.
I just want to watch good basketball.
You can't.
I can't.
Then just don't watch the Lakers.
They're actually a comedy show.
Why are you guys being so rude?
Horrible. Like you guys,
I know.
You guys thought it was a Westbrook problem. He doesn't play. You still lose. Westbrook comes back off the bench. You're still losing. 80s, LeBron's out. You're still losing. LeBron's going to come back. You're still going to be losing. There's literally nothing you can do to fix it. Pat Bev stinks, too, by the way. He's just running. He really is now. Yeah, legitimately just running around doing anything.
He was supposed to come in and be our 3-point shooter.
Hey, man, he was able to shoot.
He was with the Timberwolves.
It's just the Lakers. They just ruin everything.
It's too much pressure. That's what it is.
He wasn't even a good shooter with the Timberwolves, though.
He shot 39%.
He was just their heart and soul, bro.
Let me know if I'm wrong. I'm almost positive.
34.
Oh, God. I don't know where I got 39 from. I think in the corner, maybe, even if, I don't know.
So up next, what I want to talk about is Boom Fantasy. Obviously, we won the 3 matchups that I talked about earlier. And people have been talking about in the comments that stop making plays for the early games, because by the time this podcast comes out or they listen to it, that the game's already ended and they can't, put their picks in.
That's fair.
So we're going to do it on games that are going to happen later on in the day tomorrow, because right now this is Saturday. We're recording on a Saturday. So this is for the Sunday night football game. Boom Fantasy 3-leg parlay. You can put $10 to win $10 to win $60. Sunday night football, the Chargers versus the 49ers. First pick, Austin Eckler over 42.5 rushing yards.
Word on the street, the Niners are getting 8 players back on Sunday.
Oh, yeah?
They're getting a lot of their players back. So you said Austin Eckler what?
Austin Eckler over or under 42.5 rushing yards.
If this was his TDs.
Keenan was ruled out. Mike Williams will not be playing. It could just be a big get Austin Eckler the ball any which way they can.
I think he'll be more reliant in the pass catch.
Which is more than fair to say, Riv.
42 ain't bad. Fuck.
Is it 42 or 48?
42.5.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to go over. I always go over. You know I'm going under.
Give me over. Give me over.
Okay. I literally always go over.
Eckler had like 20 yards, but 110 like passing yards.
Yeah, Eckler really could get it going in the pass.
Eckler is going to go under on this. The Niners have the best rush defense in the NFL. The Chargers' offensive line is not good. And Eckler, in over half his games, sit the under on this. He's not been a good rusher this season. He's had one big-time game.
They're going to spam him.
He has 10 touchdowns.
Next pick,
go.
Christian McCaffrey, over or under 74.5 rushing yards.
Chargers' rush defense is not good.
Hit the over.
I'm hitting the over.
This, for me, is easily over. I think he's going to get 100 yards rushing.
Big day.
And last one, Jimmy Garoppolo, over, under 1.5 touchdowns.
1.5.
He has to get 2.
Chargers defense is not great.
Give me the under.
1.5. Is Debo playing for sure?
Mm-hmm.
A lot of red zone action. I think they'll get a lot of rushing TDs. Give me the under.
I'm going to go over on this one. Garoppolo's been sneaky good this year.
He stinks.
I'm going over. I think he gets 2 touchdowns at least.
Okay.
I do think so.
All right.
The Chargers are not a good team. And now this is matchups because I just feel like there's better luck when it comes to matchups.
Fair enough.
But, some of these games will be at 1 o'clock, so be wary of that. If you want to make your picks, then
get them in early.
Listen to the podcast early. First one is Justin Fields versus David Montgomery plus 5 rushing yards.
This is hilarious.
Interesting. I feel like the Lions' game plan has to be around stopping Justin Fields. They just saw Justin Fields go berserk against Miami. Even still, I feel like I just might trust Fields a little bit more.
Plus 5 means
Montgomery has to get either.
Yeah.
If Montgomery has 34 yards and Fields has 39 yards, then Montgomery wins that matchup. He gets the
5-yard cushion.
Yes, he does.
Give me Fields, man.
I'm going to go Fields also.
I'm going Justin Fields because I do think, regardless, Khalil Herbert is the guy in the offense as a runner.
The guy?
The
guy?
Khalil Herbert's better than David Montgomery. Pretty easily for me.
As a rusher? All around?
Just all around, he's a better player.
That's a strong statement to make.
He's just a better player.
I feel where you're coming from because Herbert is not he's a good running back for sure. I like David Montgomery. I think that they understand Herbert's good and that Montgomery's going to get a contract. So why not give Herbert the ball?
Montgomery's the third best running back on that team.
Take it easy.
Fields is better.
Well, I don't really care. I just look at the burst and how fast they are.
Montgomery, look at the last couple seasons. Montgomery's been a very good runner.
He's a slow poke.
Slow?
Yeah, he's not that fast.
Slow poke's funny.
Khalil Herbert has so much burst.
Yo, he does. He does.
He bursts.
He's a little bowling ball, too.
Next matchup is Dak Prescott versus Aaron Rodgers plus 3 passing yards.
I'm going Dak. Rodgers has been throwing a lot of yards. It hasn't resulted in touchdowns, but he's one of the league leaders in yards.
I'll take Dak.
But I'm going to go Dak. I feel like Dak's going to have a really good game.
I'm going Dak Prescott as well because I do think this Cowboys defense shuts down the Packers. Next one is Amari Cooper plus 5 receiving yards versus Jalen Waddle.
Coop's been firm this year.
Interesting. Browns defense really has not been good.
Neither has Miami's.
It has not.
But I'm gonna have to go. But sometimes Tyreek gets a bulk of the load.
They both eat. They're both top 5.
I think Waddle has the better day. I'll take Waddle.
The safe answer is Jalen Waddle, and I'm feeling safe right now.
I'm going with Amari Cooper.
That's a good pick.
He's going to have a lot of one-on-ones.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it.
The Browns' offense is going to pick apart the Dolphins.
Real quick to chat about it. Did you see Chris Sims' top 5 corners in the league?
I didn't see it.
1, he had Surtain, which was lit.
Howard was 2.
2 was Xavier Howard. Trayvon was 3.
Slay.
4 was Slay. Good stuff.
5.
Yes, and Sauce was 5.
I seen it because I quote tweeted.
But Xavier being 2, I was shocked at that. Xavier, I feel like he hasn't been good this year.
Big plays too low, baby. Should have been 1 or 2.
Slay low key. If you put Slay 1, I'm not mad at it.
Should be at least 3.
Listen, Surtain being 1, he's been absolutely lock up all season.
Should at least be 3.
He's playing man on man against these guys.
Sauce being up there is firm.
It's fine because he has the numbers.
Firm. Howard, I was surprised by though.
Bro,
at least like that high. I was like,
2?
Yeah, I was like,
I don't think he's been top 5.
He's been better than Trayvon Diggs. No,
that's why I saw 2. I'm like, Howard. I looked at it for a second.
That was crazy. It was like I liked parts of the list. Obviously,
Chris Sims don't miss though. So
allegedly, I'm off. I'm off that. I'm not with that statement.
Oh, that's because he's not a big Tua fan.
I mean, he needs to read a book. It's simple.
He's not a big Tua fan.
He had Jalen Hurts over him, which Jalen Hurts been awesome. I like
better.
You don't like that?
He had Joe Burrow over him. Casual.
He had Jimmy Garoppolo over him.
Really?
That's also dumb.
Fucking crazy.
It's also dumb.
Nah, it might not be that crazy.
Right now, come on. What are you doing here?
It's not that crazy.
Read a book.
Has Tua been to a Super Bowl?
Trent Dilfer. Better than almost every single Jets quarterback ever.
I guess, yeah.
Rex Grossman. Better than Chad Pennington? I'm asking.
Been to a Super Bowl?
I'm asking.
Been to a Super Bowl?
It might be.
Who, Rex Grossman?
Yeah.
Yes.
Tough. Firm.
Steven
Foles.
sucks. Yeah, that's an Eagles legend.
That's what I'm saying.
He really has a statue.
He should. He's the greatest Eagles player ever.
So we just gave you guys
the greatest moment ever.
We just gave you guys 3 picks for toss-ups on Blue Fantasy and 3 picks for matchups on Blue Fantasy. Go to our link in our bio and click on it and sign up and use those picks because I think these are gonna hit this week.
I'll tell you
one
what,
of them.
Boom Fantasy. It's been fun. It's been fun recently because we've been
one of them are gonna hit. I love when people send us pictures of the picks hitting.
Of course.
Like shout out to y'all. We just won y'all money.
That's why we got to start going unders because everyone goes overs, and that's how you lose money. Now we got to start being tactical.
We're also doing a Modern Warfare 2 giveaway, and if you sign up for Boom, you get entered in it automatically. So click that link in the bio.
When's that over? When are we stopping that?
I guess in a week or 2.
Okay, fair enough.
Maybe we stop it at the end of the month, but I know people want to play Modern Warfare 2 fast. So
you know what? When does Warzone come out? Because that could be the day that we stop it. Because Warzone isn't out yet, and I know that Warzone. No, it's not. It's not released yet.
Why?
November 16th.
There we go. That's when. Oh, so it's in a couple days.
Yeah, in 4 days.
All right. You know, exactly. we'll give them 2 days after that. So the 18th, we'll stop it. Yep. There we go. 18th, we'll stop it.
And the Modern Warfare 2 giveaways for.
Nah, because it's too soon.
And the Modern Warfare 2 giveaways for any console. So whether you have PS4, PS5, Xbox, whatever,
you know
it's for anything.
You're making a good point. We've had this Modern Warfare 2 drawing for a little while. We'll cut it on Tuesday. So Tuesday's your last day.
You're going to find the dude until like Wednesday.
I'm with you. That's facts. So Tuesday's the last day.
16th.
Yes, the 16th.
Tuesday's the 15th. Wednesday.
Tuesday is the 15th. Facts.
I got you guys.
We should just end it the 16th. The day
that it comes out. Yeah. All right.
Well, by the time the episode comes out, it will be 12.
It will be.
So you can just cut it.
Right now it's 12.
No. He's saying 12 o'clock.
Tuesday.
Midnight.
Because, you know, we're going to get in here at 6. We ain't going to record till like 7:38.
Stop blowing up our spot, bro. They don't need to know that. That's facts, though.
Another surprise in the Western Conference has been the Portland Trail Blazers. They're 9-3, and that's with Damian Lillard missing a couple of games. They made some good offseason acquisitions with Jeremy Grant specifically. He's been really good for them. Is this the best team that the Blazers have ever surrounded Dame with?
While Dame's been the guy.
Dame's been the guy for a while.
Yes.
And even if it was a 1A, 1B thing with LA and him.
That 14-15 Blazers team was good.
Yeah, I don't think this is the most talented team. I do think, though, in terms of fit, grit.
So what's the most talented team, though?
I do like that.
14-15.
Because they all played at the same time. I like the team with Dame was at the one. They had Wesley Matthews, Batum.
Facts.
LA.
That's the 14-15.
Well, they played like a couple years. And then I like the team with Seth Curry.
Well, I only say the 14-15 because they had 51 wins.
Yeah. Sorry. You know. I like that team that beat Houston in the first round and then played the Spurs. Yeah, I like that team. That
was different. That was this. That was Dame time.
Yeah, he does all this type of shit. But this might be the most talented. You know, Josh Hart is an underrated player, jack of all trades. Jeremy Grant slept on. He's a really good player. He's shown the ability to contribute on playoff teams in his career. Nurkic is that guy when he's healthy. You know, he's also a really good player. Simons has stepped up in that second role, that CJ McCollum role. He's done fine. Nasir Little, he's been steadily improving his game as he's gotten to the league. I just think, like, in terms of, like, because I remember coming into the season, GP hasn't really even played much. But I remember coming into the season, we thought, like, me and Joel was texting about it. We was like, that starting five is probably going to have to put in a lot of work for this team to make a run. But this team with Chauncey Billups, who I've always been, I loved him as a coach. Like, I always wanted him to get a spot. With this team, they're building an identity in Portland, a real, genuine identity of getting in on defense, playing hard every night. And you look at this team, you know, this team may not be the most talented in the West, but this team fights every night. They know who their two guys are, and 1 through 5, they give it that effort on the defensive end. This may not be the most talented team, but in terms of, like, the culture, in terms of, like, the grit, the defense, the mindset, the IQ, the intangibles. This is probably their best team in terms of that. 1 through 5, 6, 7, they get it done. They play for each other. So you got to give them credit. You got to give Chauncey Billups credit. And even when Dame is out, they've been playing hard regardless. You know, they've been playing team basketball, and that's what you want to see. You know, he may not have the talent or that, you know, that superstar that everybody's been one Dame to have, that real assertive number 2. But he's got Josh Hart. He's got Jeremy Grant. He's got Nurkic, who they built a connection on the court in their pick and roll. He's got Simons, who we've seen against that Denver game. He just got heated lit up the Denver Nuggets, and they blew him out. So you watch this team. This is a good team, bro. This is a team that fights. I don't know if it's their most talented team, but I think, like, culture-wise and how they play, I like this team.
What's your opinion?
I think this is the best team Dame has ever had. I do. Outside of, well,
at least it wasn't full.
Yeah, it wasn't. There's actually nothing in it.
No, it's something in it, just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little bit. Not a lot, though.
Thank God.
Not a lot to do some damage. The 14-15 team, I guess, is a runner-up, but, you know, you have Batum, Wesley Matthews.
Wesley Matthews was nice.
Marcus Aldridge, Robin Lopez. They were okay. I guess they were okay, but I guess when they were fully just focused on building around Dame, the best team was the 18-19 team when they made the Western Conference Finals. And that team is not better than this team. Their starting forwards were Al-Farouq Aminu and Mo Harkless. This team, you have Jeremy Grant and Josh Hart. Yeah, I think they're better. They're better players. CJ McCollum is better than Anthony Simons, so there's that, and they both had Nurkic. But the bench on that team...
Hey, don't sleep on Seth.
He was off the bench.
No, but I'm saying don't sleep on Seth, man.
The bench was more talented. Enes Kanter, Rodney Hood, Seth Curry. And then after that, it kind of dwindles down, like Zach Collins, Myers Leonard, and Evan Turner. But this team, they might not have the name brand of those players off the bench there, but Justice Winslow has been a very good, scrappy, all-around player for them. He's been a very good hustle player for them. Keon Johnson is coming into his own, and he's doing all the little things. Drew Eubanks is playing with confidence. Nasir Little is also a good player off the bench. And Shaedon Sharpe has these moments of flashes, but he's nowhere near consistent right now. I just really think this team is the best off the starting lineup, though. And this is the first time in a fully built-around Dame era where Portland is bought in on defense. They're 5th in defensive rating right now, and that's because of Chauncey Billups. They throw a lot of different coverages at teams, and the main difference from this year to last year was that last year they had Yusuf Nurkic blitzing ball handlers, to where this year they're kind of having hedge more, playing into drop coverage, doing things that are more suited to his strengths. And Chauncey has gotten the best out of this group. And Jeremy Grant, when Dame is not played, he's averaging 22, 5, and 4. When Dame plays, he's averaging 19, shooting 44% from 3. So efficient. Jeremy Grant, he had that year in Detroit where he was an all-star level player and he was an MIP running. Very next year, he's inefficient again, but Detroit was a losing organization, a losing team. There wasn't nothing for him to play for. This is the first time we're seeing Jeremy Grant in a situation where his role is elevated to more than just a role player when he's in a winning situation. On Denver, he was a winning situation, but he was an afterthought offensively. Now he has been asked to close some games, and he's delivered on that. And I think he's the perfect Chauncey Billups player. This Portland team, I think, is the best that Dame has ever had. I do. Amongst when, you know,
he's the guy.
He's the guy. I do think this is better than the 18-19 team. Whether they go that far is to be determined, but I think just on paper, from a talent perspective, they're a much better team.
It's either this team or that one, or the 2015 one, 2014 one. That team was firm, but it's one of these three. We got to see where this team can go and how far this team, like how much is the talent discrepancy going to be seen in the playoffs? Because we saw 18-19 when they got to the playoffs, they made a run, you know, and the bench showed up. The starting 5 guys stepped up every night. You know, they went out there. Who they beat? They beat Denver. They who they played in the first round, if I'm not mistaken.
What year?
The 18-19 team. I remember they beat Denver.
It was Denver for sure. I'm blanking hard. Was that OKC?
Yes.
They did beat OKC.
And they went out. They ran OKC out the building. So that was a tough team, but this team is tough too. I'm not gonna front.
So when built around Dame, I'm with you. I feel like this team is best catered to Dame's strengths and its pieces that actually fit next to Dame. CJ McCollum and Damian Lillard had a very similar game, and it kind of took away from each other at times. But now you have Anthony Simons, who, when Damian's not on the court, yes, he can be that playmaker, but he understands when Dame is on the court, his job is to score the basketball and not hold the ball too long. Then you have Jeremy Grant, who's been super efficient, super reliable up until this point in time. Josh Hart, who has been one of the better role players not spoken about. He is one of the more I don't want to say overshadowed, because obviously he was a part of that AD trade. He did end up going from the Pelicans. Now he's on the Blazers, but he's just been a consistent, just get my boards, pass the ball when I need to, play solid defense.
No, he does
not. No, he doesn't. He doesn't. And Nurkic, when he's healthy, he's one of the better. He's not one of the best. He's just one of the better big men in the leagues. Great at getting the boards, can finish near the basket. I just think that this team is best built around Damian Lillard, and for Damian Lillard to succeed as well. And then defensively, the effort's there. So everything that you want out of this team, right now it's hitting. And so that's why you can say that this is probably the best team Dame has had, while Damian Lillard's been the guy.
There have been too many times in the past where Dame has had to shoulder a bunch of the load offensively. And even in the CJ days, it was Dame and it was CJ offensively. They were shouldering a major part of the load. And this year you have Simons and Dame, but Jeremy Grant is somebody that has now come in and helped offensively.
Facts.
Now a word from our sponsor, BetterHelp. In our life, we are faced with challenging situations, problems we're stuck on, or maybe we just aren't feeling too well. It's always better to face these situations with help, and that's where BetterHelp comes in. If you're thinking of therapy, BetterHelp is a great option. It's convenient, accessible, affordable, and entirely online. You get matched with a therapist after filling out a brief survey, and you can switch therapists at any time. I think that's the best feature that BetterHelp offers, because when I decided to go into therapy, it was in person. The therapist was at random. I had no idea what I was walking into. But with BetterHelp, you get some security that the person that you'll be matched up with is somebody that is going to help you with problems that you are struggling with. Mental health is more important than ever, and taking care of it is pivotal. You can go to betterhelp.com/pickaside for 10% off your first month. That's betterhelp.com/pickaside for 10% off your first month. A player that doesn't have that same help is Luka. Luka is somebody that year in and year out, he is the main focal point offensively.
Yeah.
It's a heliocentric offense. This year, he leads the NBA in usage percentage at 39%. And before the season, I posed a question to you guys. If after the season, we'll yet again be asking if Luka needs more help. And I feel like through a couple weeks into the season, I'd say a month into the season, that's already a reality where
it's evident.
Luka does need more help. And he can't keep being used at this rate and not get burnt out by the season's end. And Jason Kidd has already addressed it, that if the way he's going right now, he might not last till Christmas.
This is a recurring thing in NBA history. This isn't something brand new. A heliocentric offense does not get you a championship. It burns you out, like you said. Look at James Harden. Until they got him Chris Paul, he was in a heliocentric offense. Even with Chris Paul, he still had the ball a lot, but Chris Paul was able to give him the benefit of the doubt and give him the times where he can, take some rest, take some time off. And you saw what happened. They went to the Western Conference Finals. They gave Golden State a run for their money twice in back-to-back years.
They did.
So, Luka is going to forever need more help, because you can't just put out a bunch of shooters and just say, yo, I need you to go do everything. A heliocentric offense doesn't work. Kobe has said it. James Harden has proven that it doesn't. AI to a degree, it doesn't work. MJ, before he went into the system, it didn't work. It does not work. It never will work.
When the goal is to win a championship.
Especially now when teams are so stacked and not stacked in terms of superstars, but they have a bunch of good players and they have a bunch of solid guys. Like you look at Boston, for example, 5 guys that can defend. They have their 2 guys. Then they have Marcus Smart, Robert Williams, Al Horford. Then they have the guys up the bench. Brogdon. You have a couple guys that can go get you a bucket, and then guys who can help. in terms of Dallas, it's just first. Reggie Bullock is terrible, by the way, but they just have a bunch of shooters, and outside of Spencer Dinwiddie and Christian Wood, when he plays, they don't really have another guy. Luka is gonna need, and I think he would probably need a two-way wing. You know, somebody who can go give him the bucket and can go get a defend. Jalen Brunson was fine for them, but they still had a ceiling on their team, and they will forever have a ceiling until they find another guy or a different system that works. Luka can't have the ball all the time. It's just how the way the NBA is, the way the NBA works, and how teams can easily stop a heliocentric offense because it's just a one-man show.
This should be common knowledge that Luka does need help. Dinwiddie's been super efficient for sure, but that's not the number 2 that you look at and think that you want next to Luka that can compete for a championship. The best teams in the NBA, you already alluded to, they have a unit that you can play cohesively together and a couple pieces off the bench. For the Dallas Mavericks, it's Luka Doncic, it's Spencer Dinwiddie, it's Christian Wood, and then the rest is kind of noise. Tim Hardaway Jr., shout out to him. He's just
okay.
At this point, he's a 3-point shooter. Not much else that he provides after that. Dorian Finney is a very good defender as well, too. Can hit the jump shot when needed. But there is not a plethora of guys on this team that Luka can trust. Luka feels, yes, the assist numbers are crazy. The scoring numbers are crazy because Luka Doncic is just that good at basketball and that good at creating shots for his guys that he puts them in position to be successful. And throughout the game, his guys will knock down some shots. But it's been shown that in the playoffs, at least last season, he had his team the most wide open shots missed because it shows that his supporting cast is simply not that good. And I think that we had spoken about it, that they weren't going to have a lot of room for cap space this year, but next season that they were going to have a ton of money to spend. And even still, I don't know if that's going to be the case because I don't know if someone wants to or feels as if right now that going to Dallas is the best situation for them. What player that's going to be available this offseason is going to be attracted to Dallas? Is Dallas a unit that you look at right now in totality as opposed to other teams that you want to go to? At least right now, I don't think so. I understand Luka is a top 3 ball player at the absolute minimum right now. Luka's playing at that level. And that's not – don't give me those eyes, Riv.
Who's the 3?
It's Giannis, it's him, Luka, Steph. You
said Giannis twice.
I apologize. Luka, Giannis, Jokic, Luka, Steph. Is that fair?
You said minimum, so I was trying to figure out.
It's just Steph. I forgot about Steph, and I'm
Jokic is better than Steph.
Right now, I feel like Steph's been playing better.
Yeah, he has. It's a back-to-back MVP. Just want to give him that respect.
I was just waiting for Steph's name to be called.
Steph's got to be in there, and I apologize for not giving him that respect.
Steph's NBA champion.
He's the man.
Finals MVP, WCF, MVP.
but the supporting cast that he has is simply not adequate to win a championship. Mm-hmm. I'm fine with him putting up these numbers because then he'll get the accolades, he'll get the respect as being one of the best in the world. But eventually, that's not going to be enough because right now he's still a young player. He still has his time to assert his dominance. And we just saw last year he's shown that he can put his team in a situation where they made the Western Conference Finals. But I think that if they played the Grizzlies, I don't know if they get past the Grizzlies. They went against Golden State, and they got put in their place. It wasn't even a true series by any means. So, yes, Luka is still great that his team will make the playoffs. He could win a playoff series, but nothing more than that.
I do think there's a bit of an overreaction here with the Mavericks. They're 6-5. They haven't been off to the best of starts, but I think a lot of players here are shooting at clips that they're going to be better at, quite frankly. Tim Hardaway Jr., I do expect him to be better than 34% from 3. Dorian Finney-Smith is shooting 32% from 3. Poor. Bullock is shooting 32% from 3. Kleba is shooting 29% from 3. They're better shooters than that, and I think they're going to play better as well. I don't think the problem with the Mavericks are the role players. I think the role players are fine. They're championship caliber role players. They just don't have another star.
Ooh, Spencer Dinwiddie. Are you talking about Spencer Dinwiddie, or are you
Dorian
talking about
Finney-Smith
Dorian
is a championship caliber
Who
role
else?
player. I think Reggie Bullock is a championship caliber role player.
I'm going to disagree with that.
If he goes to Golden State, he'd fit perfect there.
Yeah, but
so
we
Golden
have
State.
That's different.
Going to Golden State.
I get what you mean.
What playoff team can Reggie Bullock not help right now?
You said what championship team?
Milwaukee. Would he not be perfect there?
I'm agreeing with you. I think you have a good point. They have a lot of championship level.
Yes, they have great role players. They just don't have another star.
But that's a problem, though.
Yes, and if you don't have another star, it's hard to get to the next level. But the role players are fine.
Well, how is it an overreaction if this has been the same Dallas team and the same problem for like 3 years?
Yeah. Well, right now it's an overreaction because these guys are going to play better. They're going to play better.
Yeah. Is this a championship roster?
Fuck no.
No, but you wouldn't have said this is Western Conference Finals roster last year.
Well, it was a. You know what? Good point. Good point there.
I think Luka, these guys are going to play better. They tried to surround Luka with a star last year with Kristaps Porzingis. I mean, and that just didn't work, and they eventually moved off of KP. I just feel like the major mistake was letting Jalen Brunson walk in the offseason. I do. And while he's not a solidified star, all-star player, he is somebody now that has helped the New York Knicks a lot in just controlling the flow of the offense.
He fit very well with Luka.
He was a great Luka counterpart, and that affected Brunson's numbers because his numbers could have been better. But then you had Dinwiddie off the bench, and you could have had Brunson and Luka starting, and you could have had Dinwiddie and Christian Wood off the bench, and that's one of the best bench units in basketball. The main problem with Luka right now in his usage percentage is that there just isn't much sharing of the ball. The Mavericks are 30th in assists per game. They're not a good rebounding team. They're dead last in rebounding as well. The JaVale McGee signing has not been one that's looked that good because he's frankly an older center and he's past what he once was, which when he was at his best was good, nothing special. But Luka throughout the game in the first quarter, he shoots 53% from the field. In the second quarter, 53% from the field. In the third quarter, 48% from the field.
Tired.
And in the fourth quarter, 36% from the field.
That was the same against the Clippers in the first round.
Yeah,
Second time.
Luka throughout each quarter gets more and more worn down because there is another player to take the load off of him. Last year, that was Jalen Brunson. This year, they don't have that. The only two shot creators on their team are Spencer Dinwiddie and Luka, versus last year you had three with Dinwiddie, Luka, and Brunson. So you can stagger the minutes of Brunson and Luka. You can even have some minutes without Brunson and Luka and then have just Dinwiddie out there. And now it's just super hard. And you mentioned it. We haven't seen this style of team win championships. And when we've seen this style get close, it's been when Harden has had a point guard like a Chris Paul. And I'm not saying Brunson is Chris Paul, but just a guy who can take the load off of your main star, and that was Brunson.
So let me
I understand Brunson didn't want to stay in Dallas, and he wanted to have the keys to an offense and run it. But that, I would have given Brunson what he wanted. I would have paid him what he wanted for him to stay in Dallas.
So let me ask you a question, because like we mentioned, it does happen. You know, we've seen the rare occurrences with Allen Iverson. You know, Hakeem Olajuwon to a degree. You know, I wouldn't consider it a fully true heliocentric offense, but we've seen that one guy go into one-man tandem and just carry to the play. Luka last year to a degree.
You said Hakeem?
Yeah, to a degree, you know.
Wasn't Clyde on both those squads?
No, he's only on the second.
Only on the second?
Yeah.
Okay.
Luka last year to a degree went on a one-man tandem. But you mentioned, because I wanted to ask you a question, because Brunson was there last season, but you saw when they went up against the Warriors, he wasn't good enough to be that second guy to kind of get him over a team like that. So what type of player do you think they should go for now? Because teams are getting better. You know, you got Memphis who's gotten better. Like you said, they could have met Memphis and that could have been the same type of ass whooping. I don't know. It's hypotheticals, but there's always going to be a team that's going to be in the way that can really disrupt that type of scheme. So what type of player do you think they need?
I don't want to say it's tragic that this is not a possibility, but Karl Anthony Towns. It's not a possibility, but I feel like a guy like Karl Anthony Towns and Luka would fit perfectly with one another.
Cat. You think Cat?
No, I don't.
I don't think Cat, bro.
I feel like
another
you can
big.
have a big that actually can
do what?
Stretch the floor, actually score at an efficient clip. Is this mine? I apologize, y'all. Can score at an efficient clip. Is a decent passer as well, and someone that's actually reliable. Is that you? Someone. It's okay. Either which way.
I don't think it's Cat just because I think defensively he'll get killed.
They're stuck in limbo right now.
I do think the addition of just Christian Wood and keeping Brunson would have.
Oh, yeah, if they kept Christian, they got Christian and kept Brunson.
Yes,
is that a champ?
I don't know.
It's not a championship team.
That's a team that can definitely compete though at a high level.
But I think they want to. You got to. Yeah, I mean,
and free agency, like a Chris Middleton would fit this team perfect too.
Okay, I like that.
Yeah, I mean, what was it? Keep the Brunson. It wasn't the bag. He just didn't want to be in Dallas anymore.
Yeah, but right now they do need rebounding and they need to pass the ball more. So they need more of that. It's just more unselfishness.
They got 2 ball dominant players.
Yeah, ultimately it's just a problem with Luka as well, and how that's the only style of play that he knows. So unless they change the system around to being more unselfish, then there really isn't anything that's going to be major with the Mavericks. I think there's nothing that's going to change.
That was the same thing with Trae Young, though. In a sense, it was just a him system. But then you go get a guy that can give you that can take the load off another guard. Same thing with Harden and Chris Paul. You know, somebody who doesn't have the same game as you, but plays around the same position, can play make as well, and can play off ball. With Luka, it's kind of like we can say he doesn't do it, and that's his problem, which is fair. But he's had to have the ball at all, because Reggie Bullock, you're not giving him the ball to create. Dorian Finney-Smith, you're also not giving the ball to create. And those are the guys who crunch time, they get those minutes. So, and Dinwiddie he's a good, but he's not a number 2. No. You know, so they got to figure out a way to find the guy. You know, I wish we can plug. You know, I wish we can like push Jaden Hardy 5 years in and see if he can be that, you know, number 2 scorer for them. But they got to find a guy who can go get them a bucket, also create for others. Same way how DeJounte helps Trae, Chris Paul help Harden, because I think that's all Dallas is missing realistically.
In the years coming, we're gonna find out if Luka is coachable, and by that I mean, yes, Luka is this amazing basketball player, but for just reference point, Michael Jordan, it took him a couple games to realize I can't be selfish. It won't result in winning games. Michael Jordan was obviously coachable in that sense. He was ball dominant, realized I can facilitate, still get mine, and lead to playing winning basketball, championship level basketball. Luka's putting up insane numbers. Now, if he gets a player that he can trust and rely on, he has a supporting cast that he can trust and rely on, is he going to be coachable in the sense of, I don't need to be Superman every night. I can trust these guys, facilitate the basketball, move around, and still have success. Because when it was with KP, it seemed as if even still he was hesitant. He still was very ball dominant, wasn't as willing to give up the ball. And now he still doesn't have that option. Now we're seeing it be the heliocentric offense. But when he does get that, we're going to find out in the years coming whether or not Luka is a coachable player or not.
That's an interesting point. I'm not going to lie. I didn't think of it like that, to be honest.
I know it took me a while to get out, but I wanted to be very concise in what I was saying.
That was beautiful.
Thanks, man.
This week in the NBA, I want to talk about Alperen Şengün.
Hot.
He's averaging 17
and 9. Been very quiet on your Europeans, man. I haven't seen you talk about this lately.
He's second in the NBA in PER among centers. He's top 10 in PER right now. I'm pretty sure he's the only player his age that is actually that high in PER. And while it may be a bit flawed because he is a center that gets a lot of rebounds and points, is efficient, it might be inflated a bit. But I think Alperen Şengün is a throwback player. He's really good, and he's somebody that in the draft I was very high on. I was high on Josh Giddey. I was high on Alperen Şengün, and both guys have come into the NBA, and they've proven Riv wrong.
In terms of what?
You said Alperen Şengün was going to be whatever.
And I said Giddey wouldn't be a star. Where's the wrong here? Şengün was you. I gave you the W for Şengün. The Giddey shit, you didn't get a win there.
I did get it. I said he was going to be a dark horse rookie of the year last year.
No, but I said he wouldn't be a star. He has not. Where's the star ability?
Well, he's passing like a star.
Well, yeah, his passing is there. His scoring is funny.
Yeah, he's only 20 years old.
That's fair to say.
Do you have it this week in the NBA?
I do, actually. It's actually not in the NBA. This week in the college basketball world.
Monty?
College started. It's been a beautiful week. You know, Gonzaga and Michigan State played on a boat. It was actually very beautiful. I just want to touch up on Eastern Michigan. You know, they played Michigan, Imani Bates, Noah Farrakhan. Shout out to Jersey. They played an amazing game. Shout out to Gonzaga. versus Michigan State. Gonzaga, Drew Timme is arguably, he's the best college basketball player in the world. He's
tough.
Like he probably won't be a great to good NBA player, but sometimes
when it comes to college, he's
crazy.
College,
he is the Joker. He is literally that type of player. Gonzaga doesn't look that good, but I just wanted to give some praise. I'm in the Discord. If you join our Discord, I will be putting in every day really good college basketball games or games where you can watch the prospects. I know people have been asking me about a couple of prospects they want to get into. So I will be throwing in games. I'll try to do it every day, but it's like 1,000 college games on daily, so it's really hard to pay attention. I got as many favorite as I can, but I'll be doing that every day for the Discord, fellas. Join the Discord, by the way. I don't know all the links and shit. Hit Joel up, but join the Discord.
It's in the description, bro.
Yeah, you got to join our Patreon to get into the Discord, man. You knew this.
I did. Join the Patreon. Yeah, exactly. I just said
there you go. All right, so my this week in the NBA, LaMelo Ball will be returning to the NBA basketball court. I'm super excited for that. Especially because the Hornets need a jolt of energy right now. 3-10 record right now, second to last in the Eastern Conference. They will be, but I'm just excited.
Hey, tank for Victor.
Oh, it's been egregious, the tanking that they've been doing. But I am excited to see LaMelo back on the court.
Really? Insane tanking would be if they actually trade for Westbrook. That'd be the level of tanking that I know they're at. They'd just be like, all right, we'll give you Rozier.
They get a Westbrook, they're not tanking.
They're doing what?
Westbrook's not going to tank, bro.
Don't care what he thinks he's going to do. They're going to tank, bro.
Out with Westbrook.
As long as we get Rozier, I'm in.
Oh, the Laker.
I
always forget. My fault.
When you forget what exactly?
Because I forgot. I be thinking you're a Charlotte fan for some reason sometimes because you're a LaMelo guy. So I just think.
Charlotte?
Yeah. Should be a Charlotte fan.
Charlotte?
It's because you're a LaMelo guy. You're the only guy that talks about Charlotte here, honestly. Yeah. So. Nobody talks about Charlotte.
I have more this week in the NBAs.
Spit them out.
Should we be?
Sorry.
Oh my God!
Because my this week in the NBAs are very important. Alperen Şengün got his shine, but I gotta give some shine to these two players that I feel like nobody is really talking about. Keldon Johnson and Devin Vassell.
Okay, I like this.
They're one of the best wing duos in the NBA. They're both averaging 20 points per game. You look at Keldon Johnson, he's a great off-the-ball player, does a great job at navigating screens. He's one of the best spot-up shooters in the NBA already, but he's also a very good passer out of the pick and roll and a great rebounder for his size. And Devin Vassell last year was a 3-and-D player, spot-up shooter, but he's taken a huge leap this season in his shot creating, and he's somebody that when I watch him play, he has a lot of Chris Middleton in his game where he doesn't waste dribbles. He gets to his spot. He has a high release, and he has a great feel in the pick and roll, and he's shooting 55% on his mid-range shots this season. Keldon Johnson is in an MIP race. Devin Vassell is in an MIP race. He's jumped up from 12 points to 21 points this season, and the Spurs have a great young wing duo brewing. It's in the making, and I don't think enough people are talking about it.
Shout out Jeremy Sochan, too. He's been really
he's
good.
an all-around player, because I think if the Spurs are bad enough to where they get a Scoot Henderson, this team ceiling is ridiculous. With Scoot, Vassell, Keldon, Sochan, and Jakob Poeltl is a very good big man. The Spurs are brewing something, and I think it's a props to the development. And that's what I meant when I said the DeJounte thing. Devin Vassell goes to another situation.
No.
Keldon goes to another situation. They aren't the same players.
Did you have Spurs as a 15? Wasn't Spurs your 15th seed or your 14th seed?
Rockets were.
So what was Spurs, like 14, 13? Okay. What do you
Spurs
mean by the DeJounte thing?
We had a pretty similar one. I had 13 also.
Yeah,
what did you mean by the DeJounte thing? What are you saying?
Yeah, bro, enough with the... You're trying to make an out of that. Like, exactly.
We know the Spurs develop great, bro. We do know
what
that.
Does that mean? But what does that got to do with DeJounte?
DeJounte would not be the same player if he did not get drafted to the Spurs.
He's great now.
That's not what you meant.
That's not at all what you meant.
That's what I did mean.
Not what you meant.
Yes,
how you going to throw
Stop the cap.
Why do you throw dirt on his name?
That's what I did mean.
You're lying.
Bro, after that clip, I literally said, nah, is I hyperbole. Didn't I say that?
You hate DeJounte.
I literally said no, I don't. I love DeJounte. He's my favorite player in the NBA.
Oh my God.
You need mental help.
DeJounte is my guy.
Oh my God.
See a therapist.
I've been high on DeJounte.
Oh my God.
Riv, we used to talk.
Just ignore it.
Riv,
just ignore
can't
it.
run a show.
Riv. All right. this is a question for you then, Drew. So you're such a DeJounte guy. What college did he go to?
You answer it.
Washington.
That's such an easy one.
No, it's not.
The thing is, man,
he didn't know DeJounte in college.
Yes, I did. Bro.
I can't name.
I scouted him, bro. I give you my scouting report on him.
I can't name.
We weren't even scouting at the time, bro.
Yes, bro. Come on, stop capping, bro.
Is that essential that I know that where players went to college?
Look up when DeJounte was in college right now.
Okay.
Just real quick.
I'm just asking because I don't know him in NFL, so I'm just.
Bro, you didn't even know.
Please.
You didn't even know that DeJounte Murray was the youngest All NBA defender of all time.
I did.
No, you didn't, bro. I just told you that. Oh my god. Just now.
Earned second team conference.
He played for the Washington Huskies, bro.
Please just look up the year. Just
2015, 2016.
We were in high school.
Yeah.
He's talking about we were scouting DeJounte Murray.
I don't know about you. I've been high on DeJounte, bro.
Were you scouting him in high school?
No, he was not.
He dropped in the draft because of character issues. That's facts.
He dropped in the draft because he tore his ACL.
And because there was character issues about him. They said it in the draft, in the interviews and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Why can't you just take your L with DeJounte?
Bro, because y'all took what I said and
you said it.
I said it was hyperbole.
That's the only thing he did say was hyperbole, but it was because we had the reaction that we did.
Yeah, I was going to say it regardless.
If we would have sat there, we didn't laugh, he would have kept it.
DeJounte Murray without the Spurs is out the league.
Yeah, if we didn't laugh, bro, you would have kept that whole thing. Like, you would have never said it's hyperbole.
Bro, you had the straightest face.
You were dead serious.
That's because when I get into my zone, I get into my zone. But I was going to say it was hyperbole, bro. Right. Obviously, I didn't mean it.
So you're a DeJounte guy now.
I've been a DeJounte guy. I've been telling y'all that.
Welcome to the club.
I've been telling y'all that.
Welcome to the club. Happy to be here.
I've been here. I'm a DeJounte guy, bro.
Okay. Now you see him tweet about how bad DeJounte is.
I'm sorry.
If I see a bad DeJounte tweet, you're done. You're revoked.
I actually went live and I saw the Hawks in person, and DeJounte was phenomenal.
Yeah. Did you watch the game where he owned your Knicks?
Yeah, I did actually. But the Knicks just won yesterday.
You guys are like the most mid-ass team in the league right now. Like, based off statistics, your record, it's actually fucking hilarious.
We're still above the Bulls, though.
I know.
They're also above the Lakers, so I'm not going to talk shit.
No, but you have 2 wins.
I have other this week in the NBAs.
Can we stop? Just go on to the next thing, man.
And my this week in
the
NBA.
Better be good.
It's not good.
It was. I want to talk about teams that I'm gonna be wrong on. That I'm now. You know what? I've been watching a ton of film these past couple of weeks because I'm going to come into this season, the next quarter of it, with new takes and new agendas. And right now I'm kind of in the lab just cooking up what I'm going to do. So I'm retiring ones that I had this season, going into the season.
Oh, this week in the NBA, takes you're retiring.
Yes.
I like this.
So Blazers, they overachieved. I thought they were going to be a playing team, but they're much better. I think everybody thought that, though.
I do believe we all thought that.
I was wrong on the Suns. I was wrong on the Grizzlies. I was wrong on the Sixers. And I was wrong on the Nets.
God damn.
Wrong on...
The Nets aren't going to be a contender. The Sixers are a mess as well. And maybe Harden saves them. I don't know. I just feel like there are a lot of problems there. So those teams are done in terms of like me thinking they're contending teams. And I know it's early, but I think it's going to be right. Memphis is better than I expected. I think they're legit. And the Suns, they're better than I expected. I think they're legit as well.
You were low in the Portland? You were low in the Blazers?
No, I had them as a playing team.
You weren't that low. Too. All right, that's fine.
And I think the Timberwolves trading for Rudy Gobert
L
may go down as one of the worst trades in NBA history.
Damn, that's a complete flip. Okay, all right.
Just for the assets they gave up, the picks they gave up. You can see right now Minnesota is going through this phase where they're calling each other out. Yeah. Anthony Edwards didn't pass it to Cat on a fast break, and it's an everybody problem. And I tweeted about this yesterday. I want to go more in depth in it, but they traded for Rudy Gobert to accelerate this timeline, this window for a championship, and I don't think Anthony Edwards is quite ready to take this leap so fast. And they kind of rushed him into the spotlight, and they rushed him into the spotlight with not...
The remote. Pass it to me. Oh. Thanks, bro. Try to be discreet, but you weren't listening.
Yeah. I don't know. What are you doing right now?
Oh, it's doing the headphones thing again.
No, I just hear it, and it's bothering me. It's been bothering me. Do you hear it? Am I bugging?
I don't think it's a TV, though.
It's not. It's definitely not.
Stop talking for a second.
Yeah, I don't hear anything.
I don't hear anything now.
What
It's
the
a you
fuck?
thing. So wait.
So when talking about
yeah,
Minnesota, I don't think Anthony Edwards was quite ready to take this leap so fast. And not only that, but I don't think Rudy Gobert fits Anthony Edwards, and that was the move to make to unlock Edwards. And the same thing with Cat. Like, for example, Cat is the best player on the team. Does Anthony Edwards play better than him in brighter moments? Yes. Ant is going to be better. But Cat is now in a position where he has to change defensively, and that's made him one of the biggest liabilities defensively in the NBA. And he has to change offensively. He's now more spot up. He's more of a passer. He's not getting the post touches. When you trade for a star, it's to complement your current stars. And Rudy Gobert didn't complement Cat or Ant in the same way that Mitchell goes to Cleveland and he complements their big men and Darius Garland. So for Minnesota, they accelerated the timeline. You can't play Cat and Gobert together. There's a chance they figure it out, but it looks like a team that's not bought in, and the fit of just having two jumbo-sized big men is just not going to work, I believe. And Rudy Gobert is a player that he's just so limited offensively that, yes, he's historically a great defender, but you can replicate his value much cheaper. Like, he's on a Supermax contract. Robert Will can do everything that Gobert can do at a lower level.
I'm with you.
Not as great.
Yep.
And he's four or five times cheaper than him. So for that reason, I just feel like the Timberwolves jumped the gun too early when they should have kept Vando. They should have kept Malik Beasley. They should have kept Patrick Beverley. And they should have just kept drafting players and developing them. They had Walker Kessler. Walker Kessler could have been that big man that could have offered rim protection, some rebounding and floor spacing.
In Utah.
And they just went all in on Gobert, and now Utah has their good players. They have their picks. And if Minnesota ends up collapsing off this move, and Cat now is somebody who's on the trade block, and Ant is frustrated with the team and doesn't want to be a part of it, which is possible. Like, this is the pipeline it could be heading towards. This could be one of the worst trades ever.
What a crazy turnaround. Credit to you, though, because this is probably the first year in a long time that you've came in and you've just accepted your L's. Credit to you. You didn't go in there and give excuses.
I think it started last week when he sent me the Venmo for the DeJounte Murray.
Yep.
I think you know what I think it is, though? I think that this year...
This is growth.
This is
serious.
Extreme growth.
I'm serious.
It's just been this year that I've just been wrong like this. Last year I was right on a lot.
But it's just extreme growth because when you used to be wrong, you just do a bunch of backflipping. You've just admitted your wrongs, and I can respect that as a man. So wait, just one more question.
Yeah.
Ant still over Ja? Or is that you're deading that for right now?
He can be better than Ja still.
Okay.
Long term.
But you're putting that to bed just for a second. You're just gonna put that to bed this year.
Like, who's a better player right now?
Yeah.
Ja's a better player right now.
All right. Because this season, that. I know you were expecting the Ant-Man leap. Let's put that one to bed.
What happened to November 12th?
Oh, well, he's done. So I'm just
fair.
And I never thought I'm on the Ja wave.
Fair enough. Ja's amazing. Absolutely all world.
Minnesota over Memphis too. Dead in the water. Or that's still.
Memphis is gonna be better.
Got it.
Yeah.
Ooh, that's a lot of L's, my boy.
Nah, just like 4 or 5.
That's a lot. It's only November.
The Wolves 100% should have traded for DeJounte, and that's the last time I'm gonna say it. But it just made too much sense. If you were gonna give up picks either which way, how about you trade for the guard that's actually gonna impact the game?
Sheesh.
I'm just saying, especially because D'Lo's been horrible. He's been horrible. One of the biggest disappointments in the league. And I'm saying as a Laker fan.
Yeah, because, Lakers are
They're right
The
there with
epitome of disappointment. Let's talk about these jerseys, man.
Before we go to that,
Hot?
this is
So
Would You Rather.
Doing this. Go ahead.
This is Would You Rather Lauri Markkanen edition.
Hot.
I picked this one.
He's been playing great.
Very good one.
We may be prisoners of recency bias. I know we're going to hear a lot of it in the comments. But first name is Julius Randle.
Oh, Lauri.
I'm going Lauri Markkanen.
Yeah, he's bootiest.
Domantas Sabonis.
I was never a fan of Sabonis. And the way he gets picked apart on defense, I'm going to go Lauri.
As the lone Sabonis guy at the table.
Poor man Jokic.
That takes fine.
Stand on it.
I'm going to go Lauri Markkanen.
I'm going Lauri Markkanen as well. Tobias Harris.
Lauri Markkanen. I hate Tobias Harris.
He's so fucking mid.
I hate him.
I'm going Lauri. John Collins.
Lauri. John is also a prisoner of mid.
He's not mid.
Okay.
I'm going to go Lauri also.
What does he do that Tobias can't?
Yeah, that's a good statement.
I'm going Lauri.
Dunk the ball in cool fashion.
Right now, Anthony Davis.
Anthony Davis.
He tried to say right now. Anthony Davis.
I'm going with AD.
Yeah, AD when he's on the court has been playing great.
Kyle Kuzma.
Ooh.
That's a good one because Kuz deserves his acknowledgement.
I'm going to take the wing. Give me Kuz.
I understand where you're coming from. I'm going to go Lauri, but it's very close.
Yeah, I'm going Lauri on this one too. Kristaps Porzingis.
Lauri Markkanen.
I was supposed to be. They called Lauri baby. Porzingis coming out. Give me Lauri.
I'm going with Markkanen. Nikola Vucevic.
Ooh. Vuce ain't been bad this year.
He hasn't. You saw he actually just got fined. 10K.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
Fuck him.
He's second in the league in rebounds.
No, he's been really good this year.
I need to if Lauri continues to be the number one option on the Utah Jazz, he will be better than Vucevic.
But I think Vuce in that role you've seen in Orlando.
True.
He can give you that work. I gotta ride with my boy Vuce.
That's a very respectful opinion. I'm fine with that. I'm going Lauri for opportunity purpose.
Fuck.
I'm going Lauri, and last one, Jeremy Grant.
This is a good one too. They're right in the same tier level.
Is Jeremy Grant better than Kuzma?
No.
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
They're all in the same tier level. Give me Jeremy on this one.
Yeah, this one really is another
give
close
me Jeremy.
one. I feel like I would lean Jeremy over Kuz also.
I would probably still take Kuz.
Understand? Because Kuz he just keeps growing, and bro just gets bored out of his mind, and he just can get a bucket however which way he wants also. I feel where you're coming from. That being said, I'm gonna go Lauri.
Respectful.
I'm going Markkanen again.
Markkanen?
Yeah, I went Markkanen more than I was expecting to.
Tough,
in all of your picks, basically.
Almost, except
AD, of course. Couldn't stop.
That one was. If you said Lauri, watch a game.
I mean, Lauri's got his team winning.
So winning's everything.
You flip flop.
Winning's everything.
I don't know if AD can get them at 10-3. I don't know.
Reacting to NBA City jerseys, we're gonna give our top 5 best and top 5 worst ones. So to start off, my top 5 best.
Let me pull up my list.
The Wizards Cherry Blossoms,
Number
I think,
1.
have to be in the top. There's no order.
Okay.
They have to be in the top 5. The King Silver grayish jersey. I love it, and I think it just brings that much more excitement to the Kings. The Celtics Forest Green jersey. It's plain. It's not
basic.
It's cool. It's not nothing crazy. The Dallas Mavericks Electric Blue jersey. I think it pops. It's very vibrant. I like it. And the last one is the Nets all white clean look. I just like it a lot.
The logo, the Brooklyn Nets lettering turns me off, but I guess Washington's got to be in there for sure.
I think we have some of the similarities. I have Washington in mind.
Yep.
I have the Kings
Detroit's
in mind.
green I like a lot.
Really?
Yes. I do like Toronto's a bunch. Obviously, the black and gold goes.
Of course you do.
It's a very
because it's Drake.
It's tough. The Lakers.
Stop.
The Lakers jersey's tough. The white with the purple bordering is tough, and I like New Orleans a lot as well.
So I had Washington. I had the Kings. I also had Boston up there. Hear me out. I had Golden State's up there only because the court was I had to put the court in there with it. The court really matched the jersey. It was really beautiful. I really liked it, so that's why I had to.
It was really beautiful.
You didn't like the Warriors one?
That was horrible.
You think so?
Yeah, I didn't like it at all.
Really?
No.
Are you serious?
Yeah, no. Gonna pass on it.
Even the court? The court was real.
I guess. It's okay.
And I had the Bucks up there too. I really like the Bucks one.
Bucks jersey is definitely
really,
on the border for me as well.
The Lakers one I really wasn't feeling, and Toronto was so plain to me. Like it was generic. It didn't give me no. You know what I'm saying? It didn't give me no swag.
That black and gold though is just a combination that always goes.
That's why it's so mid.
I get it
because it's plain.
I get where you're coming from.
The Milwaukee one really. That was probably my favorite one.
I folded. I definitely should have included the
Milwaukee and
one.
Washington are my favorite ones.
Washington one goes crazy. Goes crazy.
And I was able to see him on 2K this morning because they got him out on 2K.
Miami
the Washington
disappointed.
Which is one of the best, I think.
Easily.
That's a very
good I saw them shits on 2K on Bradley Bill. I was like, I might pick him in 2K right now.
Sacramento also very clean.
Yeah, it is.
The side bordering is very
Swipe
nice.
a Fox. And Kevin Huerter going crazy.
Kevin Huerter was getting his ass cracked on the other day.
I'm laughing at
Kevin Huerter's about to splash it in Clay's mouth.
Steph was abusing him like a boy. A boy.
Kevin Huerter's nice. You know that, though.
In Clay's mouth.
He outplayed Clay.
On to the 5 worst. I think the Phoenix Suns.
Horrible.
They were bad. It just feels like an OKC ripoff. Minnesota Timberwolves. I thought it was very bland, and I didn't really get the concept of it.
Explains their gameplay.
Yeah, I didn't really understand the concept of the jersey. They explained it, and it made even less sense. They took the colors from one of their old logos. I did
see the explanation.
They took the color of one of their old logos from the tongue of the wolf and like the eye, and they said this is why I put on the jersey.
Dog shit.
The Warriors, their jersey was just super ugly. The Hornets having CLT as the initials.
The Hornets not having good jerseys was just so crazy.
Bro,
to me.
do you know why it's hilarious?
Why?
Because their jersey kind of looks like it says clit.
Grow up.
That's just the truth.
Grow up.
And I thought the Pelicans jersey was kind of mid.
Yeah, I feel like with it.
I feel like every city jersey or alternate jersey of the Pelicans
not good
is the NOLA and like the 3 stripes.
Remember the ones they used to have, the ones with the all green ones when Chris Paul was there. It was like the New Orleans Hornets. Those was pretty cool. I don't have a 5 worst ones. I'm not even gonna
so my 5 worst, Golden State has to be in there. I
hate both of you.
Miami's has to be in there. I'm gonna throw Charlotte in there for
I really don't like Golden State.
Sure.
I really don't like Golden State.
Mid.
It's horrible.
And who's the PDX?
I ain't mad at y'all about it.
PDX.
It says the jersey is PDX.
Let me try to see.
PDX.
Can you zoom in? Oh, that might be Portland. That's Portland.
Why is it PDX? Someone culture me, please. The Suns are really atrociously ugly also. Spurs, low-key, are nice.
That's surprising.
The Spurs jerseys being nice.
Because they're always plain.
Mad mid.
No,
this one's unique for sure for them.
The Knicks?
Knicks jersey's cool.
It's cool.
Yeah, it's a cool jersey.
Like I don't think it's like top 5 good, but it's just it's manageable.
It's classic. Like the Chicago Bulls jersey, what's the difference from that jersey to the regular?
No, ours is pretty.
Portland's is PDX.
It is Portland's the PDX.
Yeah.
And then the City of Brotherly Love, the Brotherly Love, whatever it is.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, that's Philly, obviously, but it's whatever.
Yeah, Sacramento really had one of the best though.
Definitely.
Yeah, Sacramento.
Like that jersey's actually coppable.
Yeah, I'll def got to cop a Swipe a Fox jersey. I'm gonna get one for Riv too.
Nice.
Swipe a Fox.
Yeah.
I'll wear it.
Swipe.
I'm probably gonna get a LeBron.
Stop.
City jersey.
Fuck.
It's not even gonna play in it this year.
It's so mean. He's missed 1 game.
Those 2.
He's gonna be out for a while though.
What's wrong with him?
No, he played this most recent game.
What's wrong with him? I haven't been paying attention. You guys stink.
I don't know what it is, honestly.
Probably old age.
Is it his abdomen? I'm not sure. Let me look.
Bro's injured because of old age.
I mean, that's honestly true.
To end off the show, on Twitter, we asked you guys to give us tweets, and we're going to react to them, respond to them on here.
Hot. So
here is us reacting to tweets. This is from FG Sports, and he goes, the 2022 Jazz are the 2021 Wizards. They're going to suck in a month.
That's the end of the tweet?
That's it.
I'll tell you what, I get it because I felt very similarly literally last week. So I don't
think
know
they'll be a little better.
I don't know what it is that's changing my beliefs on.
They play
last
hard,
season.
bro.
They do, bro. They really do. And Lauri looks really good.
Something about a Bradley Beal led team that just doesn't give you that confidence. But a Utah Jazz team led by Lauri, I believe and I trust. It'll be a playing team.
Great coaching right now, playing different basketball than what they've been accustomed to.
Well, Hardy's from Boston too, and Danny Ainge.
Pop Prodigy also.
He is?
Yeah, he is.
Ime? Wow, okay.
Yeah, no, for sure.
I think the Jazz are not going to be the 2021 Wizards.
I'm leaning that way also.
This tweet is from Draft Tweeting. Has Bam peaked? He is so underwhelming as an offensive player. I feel like we all say he needs to show more effort on offense, but he's yet to do so.
The answer is yes. I mean, really. I'm sorry, Riv. I know that's
your guy. I said Pascal peaked.
And that was a bad opinion.
He fucked me up crazy.
Pascal's going to be out some time, too, man. That shit sucks.
I'm not going to say he's peaked, but he definitely needs a new trainer for the offseason.
I mean, he needs a bag. He needs to figure something out. And I'm not talking handle. I'm just talking something.
Yeah, he can't. It has to be bigger than just I'm one of the best defenders in the league. We need to see more at this point with Bam. So I don't want to say he's peaked, but if he keeps,
what more do you think he can do?
I think the mid range can become more efficient. I think he can become consistent.
More consistent.
I think the handles can be a little bit better. I think his post game can get better. I think just him being aggressive in general, just being consistently aggressive is the start. But I'm not gonna go as far as say he's peaked. I'm not gonna say
his
that.
His offensive game's limited, and it's gonna continue to hold the Heat back.
That part is true.
I really don't think I can pin the Heat's issues on Bam solely.
Not specifically. I'm just stating one of the main issues I see.
I think that the Heat they don't have enough talent to complement the roster and the players they have on it.
Offense continues to be mid.
They're bottom 10 in rebounds, bottom 10 in 3-point percentage, 2-point percentage.
Like Bam Adebayo, you put him on a team like Dallas, I think that's a perfect.
There it is. That's the
one.
A
good one. That's a good one.
Shit, slide him over to San Fran.
So
man.
Even if Bam is peaked,
give you Draymond.
That's fine. I think he's a great player. It's just Miami's expecting something out of him that I think is not going to happen. He's not going to be turned into this offensive.
Clay and 2 picks for Bam. Who says no?
Offensive player.
Golden State.
Duncan. We'll
Golden
give you,
State says no.
Pat Baldwin.
This tweet is from Blood Green.
What?
This is the most balance the NBA has had in a long time. We're officially out of the super team era. No clear favorites.
I feel like
fact.
I don't firmly agree with that. I feel like I still look at Boston. I still
think a super team
that they're the best of the best in the Eastern Conference. Like them and Milwaukee are the two teams I look at clear that they're let me show respect to Cleveland. That was very rude of me.
But they're not a super team, though.
I think that they still do have a level above the rest of the playing field.
The Cavs?
I said the Cavs are one of those teams that I should have respected right there. But other than the Cavaliers.
You're just talking about the East?
The East specifically, and I think that the NBA champion will be in the Eastern Conference.
Ain't nothing wrong with saying that.
I don't think there's any super teams in the NBA right now. And the ones that are ass.
Are you just talking the Lakers?
The Nets, too.
Golden State is one of those teams that are.
I don't think the Golden State is super team.
They're not.
Yeah, I don't.
I will say the Celtics are trending towards being a super team. I would say Milwaukee is. They're not a super team, but they do have three. Well, Giannis being the best in the world, Middleton being an all-star level player, an all-star player, and Drew Holiday being an all-star level player. That's the closest we're at as a super team right now in the NBA.
They're not a super team.
They're not a super team.
I would say they are, honestly.
A super team is 2 superstar players.
Yeah.
And an all-star.
Okay.
Yeah.
I understand.
And they have
but Middleton really is very good at basketball.
Oh,
okay. Take it easy.
Right,
First off, I can say whatever the hell I want.
I thought you were going to go that route. It's a terrible route you were going to go. It's a really bad route.
Jaylen Brown. That's conversation.
Please don't.
That's
Golden State can still beat Boston. Just want to let you know.
No, they cannot. Not in 2022.
You're stupid.
Not in 2022.
You're not that
Team's
smart.
mid.
You're not that
Team's
smart.
mid. No, we keep establishing your team's mid.
Like if you genuinely think in a 7-game series that right now we still can't beat them, you're crazy.
You can't.
All right.
You can't.
All right. I don't know why you don't believe what you could think regular season basketball.
No, you said right now though.
So that means we will go into a playoff atmosphere.
Yeah. Okay.
Where we've seen Tatum.
And we see Tatum right now, though.
In the regular season. That's cute. That's very cute.
And what's up with this Tatum and Kawhi business?
Kawhi hasn't fucking played. What do you want me to do?
I know, but what's going on? Like, is he ever going to come back?
I don't know. He played 5-on-5 yesterday.
Because I feel like I would rather the guy that actually plays and stays on the court.
Really? Because I just seen him, and he's kind of shit.
Who?
Tatum. In
what
the
do you
finals.
mean just okay?
I don't know if I would rather that guy.
Shut the hell up.
I'd rather Wiggins
over Tatum
in the finals. Yeah.
Yeah, you have brain damage.
This is from JJ Lawrence 8.
I do.
Who's the better Jones brother, Trey or Tyus?
Tyus Jones.
I think Tyus. I like Trey though. I think Tyus is a better point guard though.
Yeah, he's very good.
I think Tyus
I'm going with Trey Jones. I think Trey Jones is a better shooter. Yeah. He's been better from 3 this year. He's a much more peskier defender.
Yeah, he is a better defender.
I like Trey Jones a lot, and he's finally getting his opportunity. He's shining in it.
I think Tyus is better at running on offense though.
Yeah.
I will lean Tyus. They were always different though. Trey was more of a scorer than anything. I like Tyus though.
The defensive pest.
He could lock up. Yeah. Who asked that question?
What's your answer?
I said Tyus Jones.
He's better than Westbrook.
JJ Lawrence
still.
8 asked the question.
JJ Lawrence 8. He's still better than Westbrook.
Take it easy. You could rather Tyus Jones. So Trey Jones is better than Russell Westbrook?
I'd rather Trey Jones.
Could you shut the hell up, man?
This is War Machine 661. Magic have a bad record, but still look great. Once Markelle Fultz comes back, they'll start winning more games and will make a push for the playoffs.
I don't know about that last part.
Yeah, correct.
But they do look great.
They
Boncaro is a fucking dog, and Wagner has sneakily having a really, really good sophomore
nothing
campaign.
Sneaky about it. He's
not talking. No, he's not talking about it.
I mean,
Suggs is getting it together. But that Fultz comeback playoff push shit dead.
I understand Jalen Suggs was the high draft pick. He was drafted before Wagner, but I don't need Orlando trying to force Suggs to be the number 2 option. Right now, Franz has just been playing at such a consistent level. Let him continue to be that number 2 and let Paolo be the best player.
Imagine if they get Victor.
That would be crazy.
That front court would be nuts.
I think the Magic are in a very good position. They're showing really good flashes of what their future can be with Boncaro, but they're not going to make the playoffs. And I don't think Markelle being healthy or whoever being healthy is going to change that. I know they have been one of the more injured teams in the NBA, but I don't think nothing's going to change.
Facts. Almost ready.
Very soon.
Yeah.
Finally.
I need to see him back on the court.
Why?
Just for the cool part of it.
When the last time he's played? 27?
Bubble.
The bubble. Jesus Christ.
This is from Guapo247. Unless Anthony Edwards takes a leap within this next month, the Timberwolves will miss the playoffs and play in. People look at the Rudy and Cat pairing, but it's really the D'Lo and Ant duo that's been holding this team back.
Wow.
That's a you thing, buddy.
No, I think the Cat and Rudy pairing doesn't work. I think D'Lo's been holding them back.
It was the giggle after.
That's exactly what I was thinking too.
Anthony Edwards hasn't been amazing. He's been dribbling too much, and his shot selection is still spotty. But the clear problem on a team is the fit with Cat and Gobert, and it's D'Angelo Russell.
Okay.
And they don't have consistent point guard play.
I'm looking at
That's
D'Lo.
their biggest weakness right now. And it just doesn't feel like Chris Finch has his team bought in.
Thought he did. He had the last year's team bought in, man.
They had guys that held each other accountable, like Vando and Pat Bev.
D'Lo looks like trash.
You would think coming off that playoff run, Cat Ant would be a little bit more mature in their ways. D'Lo, he should already be mature.
I feel like Cat is trying to be, or has put the approach of being mature.
But the way he's doing it, like,
I just feel like people think Karl Anthony Towns is corny.
He is indeed corny.
That's why people don't take him seriously.
Well, stop being corny. Yeah, we said we got mic'd up. Hey, they got to come back to our house. What are you talking about? Like what are you talking about, bro? And then you lost. Like when they went, like, come on, bro.
But I do feel like he has put that effort into to put the work in on his body, try and put the eat the right things, try and put Anthony Edwards on that right path. Like in the press conference, there's time and place.
He isn't the mentor.
Yeah, I feel like that he's tried to show he's a good leader, but he needs to do it.
I know you've seen that. You've seen that magazine, Slam magazine. Jalen Brunson talk about D Rose has been his mentor, young days.
Jalen Brunson said it.
Yeah, I know you didn't.
Jalen Brunson's real, bro. What can I say? He's that guy. You slept on him though.
You did.
What did I say? You
said that he sucks.
Okay.
No, you never said that.
Oh.
This is from @WilsonTyrese. Do you guys think Kawhi Leonard's health will be an issue come playoff time? Also, if the Clippers fail to win the championship this season, has it been a failure since getting both PG and Kawhi?
The second part of the last
Easily,
part,
yes.
like that.
Second part is
The whole
easily,
point
yes.
was to win a championship.
You don't get one, you're going to be a disappointment. So they got to get one.
They at least went to a Western Conference Finals. That's
That ain't
cool,
enough.
but that wasn't even with Kawhi playing.
At this point, they've been a disappointment. So if you get one, you're just underachieved, which is better than completely failing.
I mean, was the goal multiple?
Yeah, it has to be.
I mean, they hadn't even gone to a Western Conference Finals. That had to be the goal
No,
first.
The goal, if you get Kawhi and PG,
Yeah,
and
no,
that's
you're
your roster,
right.
The goal is multiple.
But
And
as
then
a
when they
franchise,
choked,
yeah.
because that was supposed to be the WCF berth right there. Then they choked, so they just pushed themselves back.
And I'll also say this. Thank you very much. I'll also say this about Kawhi and his health come playoff time. I think they're resting him now because the whole point is to have him for playoff time. So if this injury is going to continue to linger throughout the course of the season, we'll have this conversation come January, February. But right now, they're being mindful. He's already been in the training facility. Apparently, he's looking good. They're being conscious of his injuries and the potential injury. Yeah. I'm fine with the rest.
They're being extra careful because they realistically they only want him for the playoffs.
Facts.
Well, there's no doubt that I think that.
You think what?
Come on, man.
Now I'm playing. I think the Clippers are not winning the championship if Kawhi's not healthy. I think that's pretty clear.
Yeah.
So if Kawhi's injury is worse than we expect, then they're not going to win the championship. And this has been a failure because SGA looks like a superstar now.
I think the failure is they didn't win, but yeah, that too.
The failure is that they also traded SGA and a bunch of the draft picks for PG.
Is SGA better than Paul George?
Right now he is. He's playing way better than Paul George right now, bro. What are we talking about?
I hate this. I hate that.
Is that not a fact?
I hate that we do this. I truly do.
Is he not playing better than Paul George?
I truly do. I hate that we're so blind in our ways that the growth. You had growth.
You're a big SGA fan, bro.
I'm a big both fan. I am. We just
you
had
obviously biased.
We just had a would you rather. You picked Paul George over SGA.
I didn't. I picked SGA, bro.
No, you did not.
You want to bet? Go search it up, Drew.
So you picked SGA over Paul George?
Yes.
That's a you thing there. I can't help you with that one.
Are you searching it up, Drew?
Of course I am.
Yeah.
Yo, it's funny as hell when I was looking for the part of the video of you with the Zach Wilson shit, and you could see me in the camera trying to find the point of which you said it. Shit was hilarious. I should have turned the brightness down to something to be a little bit more discreet. This was the Zoom episode, right? Yeah. Dude, where is it?
Let me see. It's right here.
Oh, nice. Here we go. Let's see who you said.
First name up, the player he was traded for, Paul George.
Paul George. I'm not even answering that question, bro. I'm a Paul George fanatic. I can't do that.
There's only one guy in the MVP race right now. SGA.
Don't start, please. Paul George done it already. He ain't thrilled about that.
You're sick.
He's done that at a full season capacity.
Donovan Mitchell.
He really did.
I did say SGA, bro.
Oh my God, this guy's crazy.
It's just you don't watch OKC games like me. That's why you haven't really seen.
You actually don't watch more OKC games to me.
Yeah, I do. Because if you watch OKC games, you would pick SGA over PG clear.
No, I wouldn't.
Clear.
I don't use 12 games
Clear.
to decide.
Would you rather have a PG Kawhi duo or SGA Kawhi duo right now?
PG
right
and Kawhi,
now.
PG and Kawhi.
Get
Well, right now I can't have neither because Kawhi doesn't play.
I'd rather have SGA. He's a point guard facilitator. That's exactly what they need, and he's a scorer.
Or, never mind.
And he doesn't choke.
You haven't seen him choke.
He was in the playoffs and he played well.
He was a 6 option.
With OKC.
Oh, he was like the 3rd option. He played okay.
He was the 2nd option.
He was okay.
Yeah, his 2nd year.
He was okay.
Yeah.
And they lost.
Yeah. Took him to 7. Nobody thought that.
Nobody thought that whack-ass Rockets team, they couldn't take the 7?
You didn't have it going to 7.
I don't know what I had.
You had it going to 5. I remember vividly.
Yeah.
This is from Napping Tay. With big point guards like Luka, Halliburton, LaMelo, etc., and this up-and-coming draft class, which is super wing-heavy, I think their league is going to transition away from the point guard era it's been in for the last decade or so and solidify as a wing-dominant league more than it's ever been. What are your thoughts?
It's already a wing league. Isn't Halliburton like 6'4"?
Yeah, I think
he went from Luka to LaMelo.
He's 6'5".
Hey, really?
Mm-hmm.
How tall is Ja?
6'3". I already think this is a wing league, honestly. It's been a wing league for a while. I think only unless you have Steph Curry, you don't win with a point guard as your best player. It's shown that. It's been seen that. Wings dominate. Kevin Durant, LeBron James, Jason Tatum to an extent, Kawhi Leonard when he's healthy.
Interesting.
Even the guards that dominate at that level are big guards, 6'7", Luka. They get it done. So I think in terms of gearing towards wings, yeah, but they still can be a guard as electrifying like John Morant that can get it done. You know, Trae Young that could still get it done. You see what he did when he went to the ECF. But I do think it's been a wing league for some time.
Well, a lot of the best wings also happen to be the best playmakers also in the league. So that's also
not at all true.
The best wings?
Kevin Durant is not.
He's
that.
Whoa.
He's not.
He's a very underrated passer.
Yeah, but he's not one of the best playmakers in the league. Kawhi Leonard is also not one of the best playmakers.
Kawhi, fine.
It's really only LeBron.
Tatum isn't also.
Tatum is not one of the best playmakers in the league.
So playmaking, we're only talking about passing now because this is we love to flip back and forth on this. Isn't playmaking also the ability to create for others?
That is passing.
But also get yours.
Okay. I don't. What?
That's my whole thing.
I'm
with
confused at what
too.
you're saying. I don't know what you're saying.
The fact
you said getting it for others. In terms of getting
open
looks
you
for
create,
others, those
but at
four
the same
wings
time,
are not
you
one of the best in the league.
You still get yours and are
so offensive playmakers.
Yes. What is a playmaker?
Well, Tatum.
The answer is yes.
Kawhi, no.
Kawhi is the only one that we can say out of
Kevin Durant, not really.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, he's an underrated playmaker for sure.
I mean, all right. I mean, most of his. All right. I mean, if that's how you look at it, that's fine. I don't know. I don't know. I think LeBron's the only guy who does.
Well,
both.
LeBron's at the highest.
I think he's him and Luka are the only guys that do both
Mm-hmm.
at a elite level. You know, I think most when you think of Kevin Durant, you think of an elite scorer who's a solid playmaker.
Absolutely.
Kawhi Leonard is getting better at that.
He is. No, Kawhi's the one that you listed. That's for sure.
And Tatum is getting better at that, but he's not at that level yet. Scoring, he's still, even though he's a bucket, he still has ways to go as a scorer too. So
Tatum?
Yeah. So I think, those two are probably
on a consistency basis.
No, in terms of all three levels. He has to get better at the mid-range, finishing at the basket, which he's been fine at. So he has to get better at those. So I think just LeBron has been the only real guy.
DeMar's another one that's underrated as a passer.
Yeah, but it doesn't.
I'm just saying. Yeah. I'm talking about wings that are the best players on their teams.
But, no, you said best playmakers in the leagues.
Amongst, I guess. Even still, I'm fine with the statement I made.
I'm fine with you saying it.
All right, cool.
Stand on what you said. I just disagree.
Well, I just gave you a bunch of players that do.
Is Kevin Durant the top 10 playmaker in the league?
Name 10 better.
Oh, I didn't feel like doing that.
Yeah, there you go. You want to throw it on me. There it is.
Who's a better playmaker, De'Aaron Fox or KD?
I probably lean KD.
What the fuck are you doing?
Why? Solely for the fact that they have
John Moran
more
or
assists.
KD? No, I'm not even talking about the assist anymore.
But that's what I'm saying.
Because I wouldn't put Westbrook up there right now.
I wouldn't either. Right now, no way.
Well, it's like 7 point guards that are better playmakers than KD
so
alone.
That's what I'm saying. So playmaking, you're solely accounting for the ability to pass.
10 plus?
There's 10 plus that are better.
I was lowballing the shit.
Yeah.
Who?
Well,
so if
right. Can I just list it off very quickly? Trae Young, DeJounte Murray, John Morant,
Darius Garland,
Tyrese
oh my God.
Donovan Mitchell's
so
a better
we're
playmaker
only
than
going
KD.
by passing. You guys are killing me because when I say that playmaking also takes a majority into account of passing the basketball, you guys say it's a two-way street.
No.
Yeah. Yes.
Creating for others is playmaking.
No, I understand that.
Putting your teammates in positions to score is playmaking.
That's the definition of playmaking.
Kevin Durant
and passing.
does that in Brooklyn right now? Are you telling me now he does that?
Not really, because
when has he ever really done that?
Well, he really has done it at his maximum in Brooklyn, really.
But it hasn't been it's been okay.
No, I understand. I'm saying it's underrated.
You said amongst the best.
Yeah, underrated, yes.
So if we're saying that playmakers, that point guards are the best playmakers in the league, then that's it. Then I'll take back everything that I'm saying because then you're only
the Joker's
really
also
accounting
out there
for
too.
Absolutely. But then we're really only accounting for passing the basketball.
That's what playmaking is.
What is it, Joel? Which one is it going to be? Because you've been the most adamant on that statement of it's both scoring the basketball and passing.
No, you took it the wrong way. That's just creation in general. But when you're talking about playmaking, scoring gravity helps your playmaking. Like, for example, Donovan Mitchell isn't the world's best. He's not an elite passer.
Is he a better playmaker than Kevin Durant?
Mitchell, yes, he is. He's a better passer than KD. But for example, Donovan Mitchell's gravity helps him as a passer because defenders key in on him, and that attributes to playmaking.
It's the same thing with KD.
But KD doesn't make the extra passes like those other players
It's
make.
not necessarily true.
The Boston series this past year was a prime example of that. They just helped off their man, and KD did not make the extra pass.
Same thing with Kyrie, bro.
That's fine.
That's why Kyrie's an elite scorer. He's not an elite playmaker. He's an elite scorer.
And please don't pull up his assist.
Why?
That doesn't necessarily equate.
You can pull it up. You
No,
can. Kyrie averages 5
No, I'm
assists
not
a game.
talking about Kyrie.
So like KD, I'm sure
KD averages like what, 3-4 assists a game?
5?
This year he averages 5.
Yes,
What about for his
5.2
career?
actually. 6.4 last year, which is what I was alluding to. Well, he's been his best with the Nets. Warriors, he averaged actually almost 6.
Well, they're very pass heavy.
So last year, who's a better playmaker, KD or Chris Paul?
Come on, Drew. Come on, Drew. Stop. Come on.
Like, you're thinking about this. I don't even think it's like something to think about.
It's not.
Honestly.
He's being stubborn right now.
I'm not. It's Chris Paul was probably the best passer in the league, though.
Yeah,
That's probably. I'm fine with if we're gonna put more weight into the passing aspect of things.
That's what playmaking is, though.
But you've told me it's not just
That's creation.
passing.
That's self-creation.
Because
No,
this
because
is
when we talk
you
about
took it the
hard-
wrong way.
That's-
Because scoring,
had
because
debates
when
on
you're
this
an
so often.
when you're an elite scorer,
I'm really not that pressed about it, so we don't have to continue.
when
but
you're an
go
elite
ahead.
scorer, you have gravity. So defenders key in on you more, which now opens up the floor for your teammates.
And another
that-
thing is, we had that conversation about gravity. That Steph Curry was the only person ever.
Well, we
with
said you got
gravity.
it on that one.
Okay.
We said you got it on that one.
That in itself helps you as a playmaker because you have more open windows to pass it from. But not every player makes those passes. That's the difference with playmaking.
The fact that you thought that KD only had 3 assists this year just goes to show you how underrated of a passer he is in general.
Just 2 assists more, bro. I'm really not pressed.
I'm not saying you're pressed because obviously
For his
we're just
career,
talking
what
about
has he been?
sports. He averages for his career 4.3.
Yeah, which kind
But
of where I thought he
of the
was.
last 6 years, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yeah, even let's go another one.
But
7.
also,
he's averaged under 5 once,
it's-
and it was 4.8.
It's also about how assists come as well. Like, for example, we had this debate when Ben Simmons was in the playoffs and he had like 10 plus assists in like Game 7 or whatever. Where
Well, you said make the extra pass. That's really
well,
what
this is where it comes down to. There are times where a player is making a very easy read and pass, and they get an assist off that, but they didn't do much playmaking on that play. Like, for example, if KD gets to a spot on the elbow and a double team comes and he passes it to a wide open player because his defender left them open, is that a good play? Yes. Is that a great pass? No. Versus like Trae Young is off a pick and roll.
We're not arguing Trae.
And makes a skip pass across the court.
Trae's one of the best passers in the league.
KD is
and he
not
scores at a crazy clip.
KD is not making skip passes across the floor and hitting guys in the corner pockets of the floor, and they're hitting those threes.
Yeah.
The elite of the elite playmakers do
And
that.
this is
Like
why-
Jokic does that.
This is why assist is measured differently, because if you are on a team and you get double teamed, you just make one extra pass and he makes it, your assist accounts for me too. If I make an assist where I go to the basket, I get double teamed, and I zip a pass cross court and he hits it. A box score watcher is going to look at it and be like, they average the same assist, but the passes I'm making are a lot more difficult and are putting my teammates in a better spot to succeed. That's what we're talking about with KD. He doesn't make those type of passes elite players make. He just makes the right pass, which we're not saying he doesn't do. He's a good passer, but he's not like one of the best.
The same thing with like Jason Tatum. He's improved as a passer, but I wouldn't call any of those one of the best playmakers in the league.
No, only LeBron. Respect to LeBron, though. Him.
For sure.
So these are the last 3 tweets, and we'll end the show.
Cool.
This is from Trey, the real MVP. The Luka and trade is still a win-win. The Mavs gave the Hawks Trae Young and the 10th pick Cam Reddish. For the Hawks, Luka, and later flipped Reddish for a first that they later flipped for DeJounte Murray. Both teams have reached the conference finals, and both stars are all NBA.
He reached to get that DeJounte part in there, but I guess it makes sense.
He did indeed reach like crazy.
Yeah, for sure.
That was an insane reach.
Yeah, I guess it could still be up in the air. I guess it goes by whoever gets to and wins a championship first. They've both been to a conference
it's a win-win in terms of
for sure.
The franchise got their guy.
But until we won't find out who won one until one of these guys win a championship, and if neither do, it's a win-win.
I think it's still a win-win regardless.
If let's say Trey wins and Luka doesn't,
is that because of Trey or because of the team they built around Trey?
That's a very, very good question. And I thought of that as soon as I asked the question.
Yeah, I think the win-win. Both franchises got their guy. Both franchises have been to the same
Luka's better than Trey.
I agree.
Yeah,
but I don't think Atlanta is upset that they didn't get. Like, Trey is a firm player. Like they got their guy
for sure.
They built firmly around him.
This is from RHJ405. The Hawks will finish this year as the top 4 seed in the East, and AJ Griffin will go down as a steal of the draft.
I'm a little iffy on the AJ Griffin part. He's been good. Top 4 seed. Toronto's right behind
Do you think
them.
the Hawks are just as good as Cleveland?
No, but I think they win.
Why not?
I think Cleveland's a better defensive team than them. But I think Atlanta wins those games they need to win. They don't drop those games to, like, bums. You know what I'm saying? So I think, like, their schedule's been pretty – I think Cleveland down the stretch of the season is going to be able to milk out more wins because defensively they know how to crank down. Offensively, they just have to figure it out, and Garland has to get ready. If Trey doesn't kick it up, I still like the problem with Atlanta is still Trey Young's defense. Like, I still think that would hinder them to an effect. He is literally the worst defender I've ever seen in my life.
He's not good.
No, he's
small.
It's bad. But I think they'll finish. I think they'll be a lock, though. I could say confidently that I think they'll finish as a lock seed.
Lock top 4?
Top 6.
Oh,
Maybe
like
not
lock playoffs.
Yeah, lock playoff spot.
I think they're with Cleveland. I think they're in the same tier as Cleveland.
Really?
Yeah.
That fast?
And what about Toronto?
Yep. No.
That doesn't make sense to me.
I think the Hawks are better than Toronto.
Toronto has beaten more proven teams at the moment. That does not make sense to
Toronto's
me.
The
nice.
Hawks are a better
They're
team
one of
than
the best
Toronto.
coached
Based
teams
on
in the
what?
league.
The games they've won, right?
I just think
You didn't think that before, but then they started winning.
What do you mean?
And
I
thought
didn't think
you
that
throwing
before.
respect on Toronto's name?
Well, no, I'm saying you have to play. You have to be fair.
Why are you saying I didn't think that before?
Because I don't think you had
Nah,
Atlanta
'cause
over
anytime I would
Toronto.
mention Toronto,
You
also
had them in the
would
same
laugh.
tier. Yeah, you had them in the
you
same
just did
tier
it right
before.
now.
Because you put them.
You do be violent.
when
You do
we-
be going
I
crazy.
just said they're
When we
top 4.
talk-
That's fine.
When we made our Eastern Conference predictions, you had Toronto over Cleveland in the standings. I thought that Cleveland was much better than Toronto.
They're not much better.
I
They
think
might be
Cleveland
slightly
is
better.
much better than Toronto.
Not much. And
The Raptors don't have a legit shot at making the conference finals.
why?
Because they don't. Because they don't. I just don't think they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
To each their own.
All right. So when they get eliminated in the first round, what are you going to say?
It's not going to happen.
You said they don't have a legit chance, like
To make the conference finals? I don't think so.
Wouldn't it be something if the Cavs and Toronto faced in round 1?
The Cavs are gonna whip their ass.
Yeah, the Cavs would beat
Maybe.
them.
5-6 games.
Last time they played, what happened?
What happened?
What happened?
Are you talking about the first game of the season?
I am.
I mean, if that's what we're doing, the Cavs could beat Boston. That's what we're doing.
Nice.
That's what the game we're gonna play here.
Because regular
The
season
Hawks are in the
matters that
same
much.
tier as Cleveland to me.
And so is Toronto.
And they're actually – Atlanta's one of those teams that people sleep on this, but
People.
they have a Giannis
You?
stopper on their team.
Onyeka.
Onyeka, yeah.
This is hilarious coming from you. This is Atlanta's the sleeper. This is hilarious.
They're a sleeper, yeah.
Yeah, to everybody else, but the haters, I don't know. We'll see.
You're hating on Atlanta?
Nah, I'm okay with them.
This is from @Justin_Helms34. Heat will end the year as a playing team.
Maybe yeah, I could see it.
Well, I only have my Western Conference predictions up.
What are they?
Yeah.
11th right now?
They are currently 12th.
They're not playing defense at the moment.
Their defense is their defensive rating last I saw, I think it was 13.
21st now.
I just checked today. It was
I think
13.
their offense is third. No, wait, I lied. I could be flipping it.
Yeah, I just checked today. Their offensive rating is horrible. It's 22nd. You did flip it.
I indeed
Because
flipped
their
it.
defensive rating, they're 13th right now.
So I flipped it.
But even still, both. Their defense is not that good. PJ Tucker is
Usually in
missed.
past years, they've been like top
And
8, top
yeah,
7 in
facts.
defense.
You're right.
PJ Tucker
Stomach's
is-
And
hurt.
I'm tightening up right now.
All good. You went to the gym?
No, I'm just tight right here in my back.
Oh, well.
Yeah.
What you been doing?
You guys are nuts.
I think the Heat. I think they'll make the playoffs.
I think they'll make the play in. I'm not sure on the playoffs.
I think they'll figure it out. Right now, they're first in passes per possession, so they haven't gone away from their identity. I just think that they're going through a little slump, but they'll pick it up. I like Miami. I like the culture they build. I can't sleep on their culture.
We'll see. They're kind of mid.
That's going to do it for episode 228 of the Pick a Side Podcast. You can follow us on Twitter at Pick a Side Pod, on Instagram, and on TikTok at Pick a Side Podcast. Don't forget to download Boom Fantasy and deposit $10+ for a chance to enter in a Modern Warfare 2 giveaway and also get a $100 risk-free bet when you join. Download Mojo, invest in players like stocks. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.